Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Number one sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies in the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game, party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or robbery could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is Saints Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
What up, fam? How y'all doing today? Welcome to another installment of the Sports Coma. We in the building. Big ups to the Black and Gold family members chiming in on this one. A excellent comedy of errors today in this matchup. Big ups to the family members joining the live stream. Big ups to the family. Good to see y'all. First and foremost, man, give it up to the Raiders, man. I mean, give it up to the Raiders. The Raiders did what they wanted to do. They ran the football, and the Saints violated all of the goddamn scouting reports. They violated all of the keys to the victory, and we went over it several shows before. You cannot allow, and we sat here and said it, and I'll hit you with the facts and stats. I'll play Peyton, but this was a comedy of errors of epic proportion. I know the team always looks, they look kind of tough coming out. But this was a game in hand, man. Big ups to the Black and Gold family members chiming in the live stream. 11:03 right now, Central Times. Big up to the Black and Gold family members. Good to see y'all in the live stream. Thank y'all for being up late with me. I know a lot of people have to go to work. GM Kev, what's up? Who that to you? Tramal, who that to you? Let's see. Daryl Hatcher, who that to you? Good to see you there, brother. Brother Jerry, who that to you? Good to see your family. Big ups to you as well. And the rest of the family members chiming in the live stream for the recap of what happened the TSC virtual tailgate week 2 Saints versus Raiders recap. Of course, the Saints go down by 10, 34-24 in a very lackluster game. It was just, and that's what happened when you just don't have any balance. And that's what happened when you don't make adjustments in the game. So, like I said, don't be mad at the Raider Nation people out there, family. Give it up for them because they did what they were supposed to do. Derek Carr in this one, and I'm gonna share the statistics with you and give you my analysis on what happened. But first, before we get going in there, I'd like to give a shout out to all the beautiful Black and Gold family members. Lee Wood in the building as well. So, let me give the family members a shout out in the building as well. GM Kev, good to see you in the live stream. Brother Hatcher, good to see your family. Brother Tramal's in the building as well. Brother Jerry's in the building as well. Who that Nation for Life says, I'm so tired of Breeze. I know damn well he had more guys open downfield, like he's scared to throw downfield. Like, what is these check passes? You gotta look at the tape, bro. The tape, they were back in. See, and I'm gonna get into it, but you gotta understand, if you don't dominate the line of scrimmage. This cannot be overstated. If you do not dominate the line of scrimmage, you will look like that. You will look like that. That's what dominating the line of scrimmage is. The Raiders were firing off. They were rushing forward, dropping people in the coverage, covering up the passing lanes. And that's why Breeze was dumping off a lot of passes underneath. They were getting pressure with 4. And it was just not the type of game that you want to play. The Saints defensive line reverted to what it looked like last year in part late in the last year. They just could not early on. They couldn't get. They got the pressure going, and then the Raiders made an adjustment and stopped all of that. When they make an adjustment, you have to then you have to adjust to their adjustment, and that's what chess is. When they make a move, you counter their move. The Saints didn't counter their move. They couldn't consistently get the pressure on Derek Carr. He stood back there. He threw 3 touchdowns, and for the most part, after the first quarter was gone, he was unabated. Then did we not talk about this? Most people didn't know who Waller was. I kept telling them, listen, this dude is the X factor. Watch out for this guy. Did I not say that? I'm so glad this stuff is documented, man. But we're going to get through it. I'm going to give the rest of the family members an opportunity. Don't put all this in the lap of Drew Brees. Jason says Drew looks old. Y'all hate to say it. He is old. He's 41 years old. Listen, the way the Saints are going to win is as a team. You have to give him a running game, and you're going to have to consistently. Sean Payton morphed back into his regular self in this one. And I'm gonna play this because it's reason for everything. The Raiders went in there, they did what they had to do and won this game. They ran the football and they threw the ball downfield, and they played good defense. So I mean, what can you say? Don't hate the Raider Nation, man. They did what the Saints were supposed to do, and they got a win. Good win for them in their building. The Saints had this all the way, and Raiders picked up momentum because the Saints could not adjust. Dennis Allen could not adjust to Waller, the tight end. He kept playing. He put PJ freaking Williams on Waller for goodness sake. He getting burned all over the place. You got Marcus stinking Williams on him for goodness sake, who cannot hit. You know what a safety looks like for all these people out here that keep talking about Marcus Williams gets interceptions, Q? You know what? He is soft. He's soft. Soft. He's soft. He is not scaring anybody. That's right. I said antibody. You know what a real safety looks like? Jonathan Abrams. That's what the real safety. Abrams coming for you. Malcolm Jenkins all over the place. He getting burnt. But usually I told y'all about this Waller cat. I told y'all this dude is good. Nobody knows about him because they're thinking he's just an aberration. But did I not put that on the scouting report today in the last 7 games about Waller? If I knew about Waller, how they didn't know about him, bro? Huh? And why did it take half the game before you adjust with a double team on Waller? By that time, he was almost double-digit receptions. Huh? Where the answer at? We'll play Sean Payton momentarily. Shandon Roy, good to see you in the chat as well. The Saints are not, Drew Brees is not going to carry the, he'll win a few games for you, but this is a team effort. You have to win as a team. You have to use the running attack to open up the passing game. I cannot get Sean Payton to understand that. You had Latavius Murray running it, battle ramming, then he disappeared, and Alvin Kamara was all over the place. And I don't have a problem with Kamara. Lee Wood, who that to you? Good to see you in the chat, family. Big ups. Daryl Hatcher, once again, big up to the rest of the family members chiming in this. GM Kev and the rest of the brothers. Joe Time, Jason, what up, Jason? Jason's in the building as well. Good to see Jason. Good win for your squad, Jason. Well, you told me that he was a ball. I knew he was a ball. I had him on my scouting report. I knew who Waller was. I also knew who the hell Renfro is and Josh Jacobs and all these other guys. I know about Waller. I've been looking at Waller. The last 7 days of content about the Raiders was about the Saints have to adjust to Waller because he's dangerous. I've been saying that across the board. But how me and you know about him, but they don't. Who that to the rest of the family members? But you're right, Jason. Waller is a baller. No doubt. He balled on the Saints. Slick says, stop bashing Brees. Raiders played good coverage. It wasn't all Brees' fault, but when you dominate the line of scrimmage and you put everything on him, you got to win as a team, man. You know, you got to win as a team. Drew we too accustomed to see Drew for 5 or 7, 8 years ago carrying the team. This is not he can win you a few games like that, but this is a team effort. You're going to need to run in attack and all that. You know, it's just what it is. Pat Thompson says Drew has become another Alex Smith, Mr. Checkdown. When he has nowhere to go with the ball, what you expect him to do? Force it into coverage? You know, it's not going to work. Bubba down south, what up, fam? Says, what up, Q? We played a bad game. That's what it came down to. The team overall just didn't look good in this one. Who that to you, James? Good to see your family in the chat. Big ups to you. J Live 504, what up, fam? Say all passes in the damn dirt. We might be better off with Peyton and all right quarterback with a live on for we can stretch the field. I mean, you can't throw against that coverage. If they rushing 4 and dropping everybody in the coverage, where you supposed to go with the ball except check downs? You know, I mean, they checkmated you. That's pretty much what it is. They checkmated us. Sport Talk 365, what's going on, family? Who that to you as well? Ferg 318. Please hit the like button, family, upon entering the stream. Please hit the like button upon entering the stream. And the cold part about, we know what we talking about here, man. We do football research on these teams. We don't just be heckling off at the mouth. Thank you, Crass. He says Big Q called it. He said Waller would hurt us, and he did. Breeze is done, folks. Defense was on the field a lot tonight. You were on the field a lot tonight because the Saints offense didn't have a rhythm, because you need the running game. And if you're struggling with offensive line play, and the Saints did not put Ruiz in there, they scratched them late and put Andrews. I don't know what's up with Ruiz, but they scratched them and put what's his face in there, Easton. And Ruiz played scantly, but Easton was in there. And I say you got to utilize, and we're going to run to the statistics, family. Everything I'm saying will be backed up by statistics. Thank you, Crass. Cheetah Turner, who that to you, says Drew is done and defense is hot garbage. Tonight they look terrible. You know, everybody looked terrible tonight. You know, it just was the same, man. You know, you got to do better than that. You know, there's a higher expectation, you know, about what this team has. And the thing is, the Saints had this game in hand. You know, you have to close the day. You can't play these lackluster games where you continue to, you know, you don't close it. And the Saints are, you know, if you know you can't. And Sean Payton he went back to what we didn't want him to do. I didn't want him to do a game plan where you're trying to throw the ball around there. If you know your offense is struggling, work the power run game. You know, you're hitting them with this spread out, and then you're hitting them with the dive shit. This is the same stuff you did last year. You know, you're so in a rush to get the offense 4 or 5, and you can't listen. You can't do that until you get the offense together in terms of the running game. Thank you, Jason, for your super chat, bro. Pat says Breeze become another Alex Smith. I don't know about that, bro. He ain't a check down. Things are open up, but the Saints have to throw the ball. Tyler said the whole team was trash tonight. It was a terrible effort. You know, it wasn't. Slick Rick says stop bashing Breeze. Raiders played good coverage. Tramal says Demario Davis and Traquan Smith showed up. How about that? That's a positive. 34-27. I missed it. All right. Thank you for that. All right, Brian Hatley, who that? He's saying Saints did not counter. That's right. Thank you, Brian. They did not. If we're playing chess, and this is what football is, it's just football chess, right? And the guys calling plays, the other guys calling plays, and then if the other guy if the guy makes a move and you don't make a move to counter his move, then more than likely he's probably going to end up beating you. And that's what happened. Remember, and it happened. Gruden adjusted to the Saints' pressure. They sacked him 3 times. He meaning Carr 3 times, and did it affect Carr? No, it didn't. Gruden made the adjustment, came in with the running attack, mixed in Jalen Richard in there. It threw the ball to Waller, who bailed them out constantly. So, you know, the defense stayed on the field because the defense couldn't come up with enough stops because of the call. You can blame all these other guys all we want, and they played absolutely horrible. But let's just look at the top as well. Besides Peyton, is Dennis Allen called and after the second, going into third and fourth, he did not do a good job to making adjustments to what the Raiders were doing, and that's the bottom line. Joy says, on the bright side, who that to you, Joy and Isabella? He said on the bright side, Williams learned how to tackle. He even had a few decent hits. Yeah, but I mean, bro, did you see the hit where he missed the dude, where the dude ran over? Did you see that hit? You see what I hit? Did you see what Abrams was doing? That's when people say, well, Q, what you want? Man, did you see what Abrams was doing? How Abrams was coming at him? Did you see that? That's what a safety's supposed to be. You know, they make those guys think about it. But I ain't gonna put it all on that kid, man, because I know he can't tackle. You know, I know he can't tackle. I know nobody's scared of him. He's soft. He's always gonna be soft. He's a soft ass safety. Even the scouting report called him a finesse safety. That means you're soft. There is no finesse position in the safety. This is not basketball when they talk about a finesse or a three guard or a finesse forward, or meaning a guy that likes to not get physical. He likes to take the long shot, the long ball. The attitude is what makes the safety, the defense, something else. And that's why I was missing and I was upset about when they deactivated DJ Swearinger. Swearinger has the mean attitude to pop your ass. And that's what you needed to display. If you blow up, if the tight end's catching passes, let's put some pain on his ass and make him think about it. But you got guys jumping at his legs, missing them, can't cover him. The defensive coordinator doesn't call a double team until the guy has almost 10 catches in the game. So, I mean, it was a comedy of errors of everybody can get their share of this pie. Everybody get their slice of humble pie on this one. And Slick Rick says penalties reason the game like it's one of the reasons, Slick. You're right. Penalties was a big reason. Pete was the sole reason why Drew that pick. Mr. Brown says we can't beat the referee's decision. 200 yards of penalties in 2 games. 200 yards, over 200 yards worth of penalties in 2 games. Over 2, I'm going to say it again, because the Raiders, they only had, 3 penalties for, less than 20 yards? The Saints had in this game, another 100 yards worth of penalties. In 2 games, the Saints have well over 200 yards worth of penalties. A lot of them, they were their fault. Some of them, they weren't. But you're going to get that when the referee is liberally throwing flags and flagging you, you're going to get the benefit of the doubt and the flags majority of the time. It's just how it goes, especially if you're in New Orleans. Breeze game manager, but defense have problems. They couldn't step up. Right. Thank you for that, Ricardo. Who that to you, hold them hook TV. Big ups to you, fam. Good to see you. Scoob the DJ says, what's the offensive philosophy? Who the hell knows, bro? my thing is, it's commonsensical, right? If you can't throw the ball, right? Let's approach this logically. If you're having issues throwing the ball down the field, right? And you know your offense, the passing game of the offense is not there, right? What's the next thing you should be doing? Huh? Take a wild stab at it. It's only 2 things you can really do in this situation. Is either pass or run. The Saints offense right now is not hitting with the pass. So it has to be the run. It has to be the ground and pound. It has to be. There is nothing else that you can do in that scenario. I mean, I did the scouting report. Y'all watched the scouting report. I did several shows worth of scouting reports. We started from Thursday. We gave the keys of victory Thursday, Friday, came back with Saturday. And we did the TSC virtual tailgate this morning where I told you, I said the keys of victory, the scouting report, who to watch out for, everything. And the guys I told you to watch out for, they didn't see them. And the guys I warned you about was the one that killed your ass today. Remove the kid Waller from the game, and chances are they don't win the matchup because Waller was a big part of this thing. He was absolutely fantastic for him. Thank you for the question there, Scoob the DJ. Oh, Baldy, who that to you, fam? Say, shaking my head. I know, bro. K. Dot, what up, fam? He said, we won't win this type. He said, we won't win with this type of QB. It's not about Drew, bro. Even if you was to make the switch and go into Jameis or Taysom, you listen, this is not on Drew. I've been saying this, family. The way to win with this team is you got to have the running game. You got to run the ball. And then off the back of the running attack then you throw, you create, you're going to need play action to get this offense going. You just can't come out and start winging it all around and expect that to happen. You're going to struggle through some stuff, but if you're going to win games, you got to run the football and you got to play defense. The reason why I say run the football is because while you're running the football, 3 tight end, listen what I was saying about what I've been saying about how to run the ball, family. Did not been saying about 3 tight end sets. Have I not been on here running about 3 tight end sets, about power I formations with the fullback in there? Haven't I been saying all that? Running out of the 3 tight end set and passing out of the 3 tight end set? I've been saying that for a while. But look who did it with success. John Gruden did the plan that Sean Payton was supposed to execute. He was operating with 3 tight end sets and power wide formations and all that. That's how you're going to win. His defense was fresh because the Raiders kept the Saints defense on there and let them rest. And when they came in there, it was fresh. The guys was firing off the edge, dominating the line. The rest of them was backing up in coverage to keep everything in front of Drew. He wasn't going to get a shot downfield. But I told you, what's good is a scouting report if you want to listen to it. Sean Payton is incredibly stubborn, man. He's a stubborn ass. I'm about to say something. Emmanuel Crass, thank you, bro. He said Sanders was an all-pro. No catches today. 0 catches. That's really something else, man. You know, that was something. That was a really curious call, too, by the way, that they hit Emmanuel Sanders with. But see, I said that. You're going to get those calls when most teams don't. You're going to get them. And even when they don't throw them, they're going to go and look at the picture to see if you did something like they did when Oyamata hit David Carr with an elbow in his helmet. They was looking at whether or not to call that one. I told y'all this. Did I not sign the award? I sound the alarm, remember? Dirty ass referee alert. How you stockpile over 100? That's 200 yards worth of penalties in 2 games. You're not going to win games like that if you continue that trend. I'm just keeping it real with you. You cannot play toe-to-toe with teams. You have to take off on teams and go. You cannot play toe-to-toe with teams like that because the referees, that's the perfect alignment where they can be in there to make suspect calls. Even the call where they threw to Janoris Jenkins that was over his head, that shouldn't have been called, man. That was not a catchable ball. That's what Peyton was arguing about. But the referees called you for it. I told you, man. You get no quarter from them. They've been doing this to you over the last several seasons, and they let you know last week when they took the touchdown off the board from you that, hey, ain't nothing changed. We're going to keep hammering you. But fortunately, I'm going to keep hammering them too because ain't nobody going to call light to the referees, but I'm going to bring the pain to the referees just like I'm going to bring the pain to ESPN and all these other jackasses. Who that to you, Laura? Good to see you, baby. Who that? Welcome into the chat, family. Thank y'all for joining me late, man. On this stream. It's 11:30, man. A lot of pissed off Saints fans on here. A lot of happy Raiders fans on here. Well, somebody's mad. Somebody's got to be happy. That's the balance of the universe, right? Thank you, thank you there, Jason, for your super chat, by the way, my friend. Thank you for that. Who that lady says, why we never want to blame Breeze? The guy's washed. He's one of the best QBs. But damn, come on, Breeze was missing wide open Taysom. He did throw past. He was off in this game. Listen, nobody's not blaming Breeze. I'm always the one to call. I'll call Breeze. I'll call everybody out if they stink. Listen, if you stink, you stink. You need soap. You need soap. Drew Brees needs soap today. Drew Brees needed soap. Showed several other players on 3 sides of phases of the ball today. You know. He did. He was off. He was missing. But that's not a surprise. Y'all know what are we forgetting? I've been saying this. This is not something new. We always come out the gate slow. We always. Even the reporters were saying that. It's like, what's the problem with the Saints? It seems like you guys always start slow, but you just learn, and then all of a sudden something kicks in. Like I kept saying, it's not hard. They get used to the offense around the 3rd or the 4th game. Now, I'm anticipating they're going to have some struggles against Green Bay because Green Bay is flowing. Look like they're flowing pretty well, but you never know how things are. The Saints could be pissed off enough to do something about it on this end because they shouldn't have lost it, especially in double digits. If they would have done what they were supposed to do, this should have been a win. No disrespect to the Raiders. We just know what we got here. But I said if the Saints lose, it'll be by their own hands. Meaning they won't stop the run. They won't operate with the scouting report. They won't watch the people that you know what? Let's keep it going. You know, Bree says arm is the equivalent of Ty Gurley's knees. Tragic says they're looking at his arm. Drew was throwing the ball. Matter of fact, Drew, when Drew overthrow somebody, people gonna call him out. If he underthrows somebody, people gonna call him out. But Drew Brees was throwing the ball, and he overthrew several wide receivers today. He didn't underthrow him. He was overthrowing guys. I mean, it wasn't like his arm was a noodle or, his accuracy wasn't there. But it wasn't the fact that he could not push the ball. Look at it again. Check it out. I'm just keeping it real. He was pushing the ball up the field. He just was not accurate. And we know that because we've been saying that. How do we know that? Because of the historical record. The historical record clearly documents that the Saints are going to struggle in the first 2 to 3 weeks. We know that. So how do you win when your passing offense is struggling? Run the ball. Run the ball. Not what's dumbass dive plays when you put 3 or 4 wide receivers out there and then hit them with a dive play. No, I mean fullback, 3 tight ends. Why is that? Q, why are you beating that? Look what the Raiders was able to build with that offense. 3 tight ends, because it's very difficult to stop, as you can see. You don't know whether they're running or they're throwing, and the Saints have 3 tight ends that can move that ball with. They can block and catch. That's what should have been the focus tonight. Not trying to get back to what he was. Sean Payton in a rush to get right back to where he was, to try to force feed the pass over the rush. We're going to get some statistics. Let me finish going down the chat right here, giving a shout out to the rest of the family members out here and all that. Marcus got ran over all game. I'm saying, man, Drew choked in the game. Thank you, Lori. Hold'em Hook'em TV says William Boyes did it again. Malcolm Jenkins looked pathetic too in the game. He said, should we go after Earl Thomas? Said Sport Talk. I don't think Sean Payton gonna do it. And that's why we kept saying, listen, bro, I would rather go after Reed. I would rather go after Reed, who played for LSU. He was with the Chargers. He went with Panthers. I would go after Reed, bro. He'll be cheaper than that guy. He's younger than that guy. He's a hitter. He's smart. He's not scared to hit. I keep telling people what I see, and I know football. Marcus Williams shows up, but man, they're not scared of that dude. How did you, as a safety, this is not a little safety, and maybe it's just me. I got linebacker instincts, but I'll be goddamn, man, if I'm a defensive player and I get ran over by a goddamn offensive player, I will wear you out. That's my mentality. When I played linebacker, that's what I did. I was going to impose the punishment, not you. This guy doesn't know what to do. I just don't understand. What are you watching? You watching them coming to you, and do you get in a position where you're going to get run? No, you're supposed to be getting ready to stick in ferociously attacking that player to the point where you popping him every chance he get. You got to make these guys. Look what Jonathan, I keep saying, look what Jonathan Abrams was doing. He was playing downfield the entire game. Marcus Williams was back there timid and scared. You can look in his face during the game and see that he was scared all up in his face. I mean, the guy's just soft, man. Keep playing around with soft-ass players. Y'all keep thinking that, well, you get interceptions, Q, and he make tackles and all that. But but the attitude of the defense is supposed to be an aggressive attitude, and he is not aggressive at all. He's docile, very docile. He's a docile finesse safety. And I'm telling you, it's going to be pain for you in the future if you keep playing around with that type of player. I'm just going to let you know, because the Saints stupid enough to do it. Hey, Q, Audit the Fair, what up? He said, what happened to T. Hill in the second half? Absolutely nothing, bro. Not nothing. John Gruden, a lot of credit got to be given to the Raiders too here, bro. It wasn't just the Saints was running out there, just dropping the ball on their own. The Raiders was actually doing stuff. The Raiders dominated the Saints on the line of scrimmage. They dominated them on the line of scrimmage from a defensive perspective, and they dominated them on the line from an offensive perspective. They pushed Cam all around in there, pushed Onyemata all around there, and ran Jacobs on them. I'm going to run the statistics for you in a second. I'm going to play Sean Payton in a second. Let me get through and give a few shout-outs to the family in the chat. Rush y'all, big ups to you. Say the pass rush, we got Griffin. I know it always looked good in revisionist history, bro. 2020, last Saints says Kevin, our secondary soft as hell. We got another Saturday night game against the Packers. Short week, you got to get it right. All right, good to see you there, baby. Appreciate you. Aaron Jones going to run over the TV and sheds. Thank you for your comment. All right, Josh Hoover says, I'm tired of this. Williams is trash. Jenkins is over the hill. And let's not be so hard, family. I know we upset, and I know I'm leading the charge about Marcus Williams. And I'm serious about that. Listen, Malcolm Jenkins just had a tough game, but he'll hit you. Janoris Jenkins did okay out there. And Marshawn Lattimore was just awful. I'm going to just tell you straight up. He was getting handed to him by third string ass wide receivers. But it's just the attitude on the back end of the defense is what I'm saying about Marcus Williams. You've got to have attitude. You've got to be known as a defense that will wear you out. And nobody's scared of the Saints defense in the back there coming downfield, playing ferociously. If you want to know what I mean in the example that I have in my mind about what a safety is, look at the tape on on Abrams, that Jonathan Abrams, who you watched today, the little kid from Columbia, Mississippi, who was the guy I kept telling y'all about on the back end of that defense, who was flying around the field making plays. Remember I told you about Abrams? I said, see that little guy right there? The secondary is young, but this guy, I like this guy. This kid can play. Remember I told y'all that? Well, look, well, how old he do? Look at here. Abrams flying around making plays. That's who you would like. He plays downhill without any fear. That's the type of dude you like. Popping players. He said, Saints hype you up to let you down. It's not a letdown, bro, so far as, we're not going to win every game, family. We're not. It's just what it is. But when you lose, distasteful outings, when you were up ahead and then you just don't make the adjustments, it's ridiculous. Sample Sound said, what up, Q? AK was the only player that showed up tonight. Yeah, I got to get it. AK did pretty good. Kremal said, damn, Q, you need to put Marcus Williams on the T-shirt. He putting his own cell phone on the shirt. He putting his cell phone on. He need to go work for the ice cream company. He need to go deliver Bluebell to the back of the ice cream, to the supermarkets. That's what he need to do. Good grief, man. Good grief. Have some backbone, man. Why don't you? Johnny Rockets, this official Breeze need to be benched. Can't throw down the field. Raiders lined up close to the line of scrimmage all game. I keep saying, bro, not all of that is Drew's arm. Why are we saying this about? Why are we spitting talking points that the national skunk ass media is saying about Drew can't push the ball? Drew Brees was throwing the ball downfield. He was overthrowing guys. If anything, his issue was accuracy, not the fact that he couldn't throw the ball down the field. He was actually throwing the ball down the field. He was missing guys, overthrowing guys, stuff like that. But he is throwing the ball down the field. But when they made the adjustment and the pressure, and they was able to adjust with their defensive line and start getting pressure on the Saints with 4 guys, they did the same thing you did to Tom Brady last year. They did it. Last week they did it to you this week. Think about it. They were able to rush 4, drop everybody else in coverage. Do you know how difficult that makes it to throw the ball in that type of coverage? You can't throw the ball downfield when they back there, and you can only take what's in front of you. That's why he'll dink and duck it up the field. He ain't going to force, especially when Drew sit back there and didn't go through his progressions, didn't see that linebacker, that backup ass linebacker, and threw the ball right to him. The guy just stepped right in front of there. I'm like, Drew, how you missed that one, bro? Because he can't win it by himself, fam. Gerard says chicken, you know what? Ball hawk safety. He's soft, man. I've been telling people that for a long time. Daryl said we're gonna beat that. You know what? Yeah, you're right, bro. Toy Cook. Don't you bring that name up here. We got to keep that name away from that sucker. But even Toy Cook could hit. Toy Cook would tackle you. He would tackle you. This kid here man, how you draft? And that's another question. How you draft a safety that can't tackle? He said, he can tackle, Q. And one of the first things came out of his mouth during camp. Remember that show? I did a whole show exclusively about that. I said, hold on, I got to fire it up and do one about that. Remember that? About Marcus Williams, somebody can't tackle. And everybody in the chat said, Q, we knew you was coming. I said, bro, listen, I know what I see, fam. K-Dot says defense Henderson was hype. And like I said, not consistent. We beat. That's the thing. That's when the question was, can Trey Hendrickson duplicate what he did in game 1? Which I think he did get a sack. We're going to go into it. All right. Let's see. Collide in Georgia says a lot of Breeze haters, says gamblers who still think Saints is a one-man team, I guess. You can't put it all on Drew. And that's what I'm trying to tell the family members. Drew's arm is not a noodle arm. That's national hating media press that's pushing that narrative. That's not true. Drew Brees was throwing the ball down the field. And like I said, I'm going to say it again, he was missing people, overthrowing people. Not, you know what I'm saying? He was actually overthrown. So it wasn't the fact that he couldn't push the ball. It's the fact that he wasn't accurate. And that's not a surprise. We know the first 2 to 3 weeks he's not going to be accurate because the offense has to sink. The offense is not sinking. We know that. I'm documenting. I've said that over and over again, and I'm just replying off the historical record. That's how they are every year. That's how the offense, the passing attack has to gain a rhythm. So let's not lambaste Drew and call for Taysom and Jameis Winston. How does he look with a running? You know, let's switch up some of this stuff. Stop trying to force the pass and let it mature naturally. Stop trying to steroid the damn thing. Feel like to get you shooting the offense, the passing offense up with steroids. They shooting what you call your boy Bane venom up in the damn offense. The offense turn into Bane and you know, just a fumbling, stumbling ass mess. And eventually it'll wear out and you fall out and collapse, which is pretty much what it did. But I mean, it's just like, no, the best way is not genetically made offense or GMO offense. Is organic, natural, healthy, wealthy offense. And you won't get that by trying to force it. It has to organically come to you. You have to do it by doing the right things, and it'll sink and hit. The Saints are trying to put Miracle Grow and Monsanto on top of it and force it to grow. And that's why it looked like a monstrous mess, you know? Sorry to be using all these damn growing terms, but I think it's fitting right now. All right, big ups. Green Bay is going to score 50. We got to stop them, man. We got to stop. We can't let that happen. DLP says, who that defense played like garbage. Malcolm Jenkins, Lattimore look horrible, leaving guys wide open. Thank you, DLP. Big ups to your family. Good to see you. Phoebe says, imagine bringing Malcolm Jenkins back over Von Bell. Just one game now, Phoebe. Let's give him a little credit here. He did look good the first game. It's just one game now. Johnny Rock says, Lattimore looked confused. He clearly missed the free interception he did. He just they all looked really bad in this game. Kenny says half the offensive line was hurt and out of the game, and we still got dominated. Yes, and you got dominated as soon as they made changes too and brought in guys off the bench. And then it all changed. It really did. And that's a shame. You know, it's a shame because we didn't make the adjustment as well. That's bad arm, bro. Real talk. Come on, bro. I can't fight all y'all in chat about Drew Brees' arm, man. I can't fight all y'all in the chat with Drew Brees' arm. Drew Brees, was it not? Drew Brees was overthrowing people. Can I get anybody to amen me that? Can I get ones in the chat on Drew Brees was pushing the ball down the field, but he was overthrowing people. So if he's overthrowing people, that's a bad arm. He's underthrowing people, it's a bad arm. Can we just say that he's not at his accuracy hasn't synced yet? His accuracy is not there yet. That's why his numbers look like that. That's not a bad arm because he is throwing the ball. He's throwing the ball underneath, intermediate, and then he's throwing the deep balls. And some of his balls are sailing, but it's not due to a weak arm. If you're throwing the ball, a weak arm ain't going to sail balls over the wide receiver. It's going to barely get to him. We know what a weak arm is, but I would not say it's a weak arm or a bad arm. I would say accuracy issues. And when he gets his accuracy together, you'll see the offense flourish. But we got to use those. But, you know, I'm just saying, man, okay, good. 95, some documenting too. We're looking at Aaron Jones, 2 receivers, not bad. Adams, Lazard, family already looking at Green Bay. We got to break down what happened with this one before we look at Green Bay. You know, we better look like heating up. I'm hoping it's just falling. Thank you, Craig. Appreciate you, bro. Teal says, thank you, Big Q. Drew didn't have a great game, but his arm is not the issue. Look at our first and last drive. Bad play call, and Sean run the ball. Malcolm and Marcus Williams got abused. Thank you, Teal. You know, come on, family. Let's listen to some of this. Is the Great Saint Think Tank. We're not going to just hammer on Drew. Listen, I'm not the dude to sit up here and tell you if Drew's arm didn't look like nothing, I would tell you, you know how I lay out Pate. You know how I lay into them if they're wrong. I don't do that. But I'm only telling you what I'm seeing. And what I'm seeing is he's pushing the ball and he's throwing the ball. But what's happening is his accuracy is the issue, not the fact that he can't push the ball. Go look at the tape. Go back and look at the tape again. Raheem says every year we have preseason. It takes 3 weeks for most offense to get in sync. We are no different. Think about that. And and thank you for that, Raheem 21. All he's saying is the historical record. We all know that the Saints get out of the gate slow every year before they go into a double-digit frenzy and wins in the regular season. We all know that because a good line, uh, a good locker room knows, and they take that to heart. They don't like to lose. And watch, when they lose, when the Saints lose, they come back mad to get back on the win. They don't like the feeling of losing. The feeling of winning is the thing that they're addicted to. And when you win a lot, you get addicted to that feeling. You don't like the losing. You want to get that fix again. You get what I'm saying? DLP says Dennis Allen, Aaron Glenn need to get it together with our secondary. The guys are not on the same page and playing down to that competition. Shaking my head. Good point, DLP. A lot of miscommunication on the back end of that defense today. A lot of bad communication. Nola Boy says Q Breeze is done. He's not done, bro. He's not done. We got a lot of unrealistic expectations for Drew Brees. Drew Brees has to play within the offense. Drew Brees is not immune from the offense. He's not. He has to play within the offense, Nola Boy 9. I hear where you coming from, bro, but this is just the second week of the season. We 1-1. You know, he has to play within the offense. You know, he can't. Back in the day, he could win games on his own, but we got to play within the. She said the ball were floaters. Floaters, it was thrown ahead, but a weak arm can't float the ball, baby. I'm saying, if you're throwing over somebody's head, how can tell your arm is bad? You know what I'm saying? No, if I'm throwing the ball over your head and you reaching up to get it, that's not an arm issue. That's accuracy issues. It's the only thing he has to do. And we know Drew Brees. Now, put a 1 in the chat for this as well. If we agree that Drew Brees is one of the most, if not the most accurate quarterback in NFL history? Could I get a 1 in the chat from the Great Saint Think Tank for that? Can I get a 1 in the chat for the Great Saint Think Tank for that? Can I get a 1 for that? Is Drew Brees one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the history of the game? Can I get an amen or a number 1? You don't have to type that much, but you can put, how about 1? Put simple. Put 1 in the chat if he's an accurate quarterback. If he's one of the most accurate in the game, then put 1 in the chat. I didn't ask for 2, Joan. I didn't ask for 2. She said 2. So he's not. Who is more accurate than Drew Brees? Give me your top 5. Put them in the chat for whoever put 2 up there. Give me your top 3 quarterback who's accurate. Kevin says 3. I mean, come on, man. So if we know this, and this is a bona fide, thank y'all, family, for responding. But if this is a bona fide thing, then why are we not getting that aspect that he'll eventually get his accuracy stuff together? It happens every year. So we won't fall apart as a family base because we lose a game to the Raiders. It's just one game. The Saints are 1-1. And they're still at the top of the division because the Carolina Panthers stink. They lost. The Falcons stink. And Buccaneers won, but we beat them. So we still at the head of the division. So what are we talking about here? As long as we learn what we need to learn, which the Saints will learn from what we need to learn in this game, we will be fine. And we will move forward just like we did in the 11-win season, in the 2 13-3 wins in the regular season. Same scenarios, almost damn near the same. All right, let's keep it going. Brian said Drew didn't lose the game. It was a matter of poor officiating, capitalizing on the turns, managing yardage. Thank you for that. It was a comedy of errors of things. But let me get on through here. I'm just going to give a shout out to the rest of the families. Bear, big ups to you, Bear. Good to see you in the chat as well. Once again, Slick Rick, 2 stacks 00 says never saw Breeze that inaccurate. Right? I mean, but bro, listen, go back to the games the last several years and watch the games, the first 2 or 3 games of the last 3 years, and then say that to me and come in and say, Q, I watched that footage. Yeah, you're right. And watch how he looks 3 to 4 games from now. I want y'all to remember this because it's documented. What he'll look like in 2 to 3 games from now. Watch how they get this together. It happens every year, man. Every year. Slick Rick said Yellow L said he pushed the ball down the field in 3 minutes. They will catch rhythm. No, it's not. It's not like rhythm in the drive. You gotta put together a steady game to gain a rhythm, not just a few possessions here or there. If you go through an entire game where you have a rhythm and you have a symbiosis, you can operate and do some things. But I'm saying the Saints sooner or later is going to do something. That's pretty bad, man. If his arm looked like Danny Waffle's arm, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. That's funny though. Glenn says Breeze seems not to be going through his progressions. Yeah, he's rushing it. That's what's going on. He's rushing it. That's all. And that's the part of getting it together, bro. It's finding that balance. HB Watkins, what up, fans? If Breeze base his game on accuracy, age does have an effect on that, especially with no training camp preseason. That's why we got to get it, bro. You're right. His age is an issue. That's why I say you can't totally count on Breeze. Eventually, his greatest asset is his mind, and he will get that accuracy together. He will get command of that huddle. But you need a running game to go with him. You can't expect Drew Brees to go out there and throw it 30 times a game to win. You got to run the ball. You know, that's a part of it. All right, Donnell Watson, big up. Sees too many mental mistakes. A lot of miscues in this one. Till says, I'm with you, Big Q. Thank you, Till. But that's the things I'm trying to just get to the family member. Big Q call a spade a spade. I thought I was telling it like it is. I always tell it like it is. And I'm telling you what I seen. I seen the man throwing the ball down the field. Did y'all see him overthrow people today? Yes or no? Now, the mere fact that he's overthrowing people, you can't say he can't push the ball down the field. That's the literal definition of pushing the ball down the field. He ain't hitting them, but he overthrowing them, which means that he still can push the ball if he's overthrowing them, not underthrowing them. I'm just saying, man, whatever your definition is, y'all got to look at that. Okay, fam, let's keep it moving. I'm going to share with y'all right quick. We're going to jump on this thing here. I'm going to get through these statistics. Then I'm going to open up the phone lines. It's almost 12 o'clock. I know we got something going on late here. We got over 130 something people in here. Let's get the likes up, please. Let's get them up to about over 100, if you don't mind, family. Please do me that service. As we move forward, we're going to go over the statistics. We're going to start with the team stats. And actually, before we even get into any of that, I'm going to play some Sean Payton right quick. I'm gonna play Sean Payton, his thoughts on it. I was gonna play a few other people. We're gonna wait on the other dudes. I'll play some of that tomorrow. But I just want to hear what Sean Payton's thought on this game is and what's going on. So just give me a second, and I'll share my screen with the family members, and I'll play some Coach Payton here, and momentarily. Give me just a second here. We'll play some Payton here in just a second so we can hear what we say. So what we're going to do is I'm going to play Coach Payton, then I'm going to go over the statistics, the stats, and then a little brief breakdown, and then I'm going to open up the chat. Remember, on this broadcast, family, on the TSC tailgates, we don't use the phone line. In this one, we use the chat. So I'm going to put a link in the chat after I finish going over the statistics. And then you can feel free to hit that link, and then you'll be able to get on here and communicate with me live on air in front of the rest of the Great Saint Think Tank and Who Dat Nation. So just remember that. So just be patient. We'll get through this, and we'll do it. Big ups to you. I get to see a lot of family members chiming in. Please let's get those likes up to 100, please. Bubba Down South, Earl McMurray, Miscellaneous Mail. Good to see the family members in the chat. Brother Verlin, Otis, Demick. Good to see y'all in the chat. So without further ado, let me go ahead on. We're going to play Coach Payton. This is Coach Payton after his post-game interview after the Raiders and the Saints and Raiders debacle.
Sean, what was the turnaround there? You guys seemed to have a good start, and then the flip kind of script. The flip kind of script on the script
flip. Okay.
Yeah, listen, I would agree. I think
got confused for me.
Two things. We didn't possess the ball enough offensively, and then defensively very quickly we couldn't get off the field. And we're going to look at third downs. We're going to look at time of possession, the turnover right before the half. We're going to look at a number of things, but we got to do a better job coaching. I don't think it's going to be a real pleasant film to watch for some of our star players as well.
Sean, what do you think has maybe been off with the way Breeze has been playing the last 2 weeks? If you think anything has been off, it just seems like he wasn't as accurate. He wasn't as accurate as you would normally expect from him. Hopefully you can hear me.
I made the comment, we've got to be precise with what we're doing in the passing game route wise. I agree with you, really. I'm just saying the last 2 weeks, I think it's been average at best offensively. And that starts with us. It starts with me. And we got to be better. I thought we ran the ball a little bit better tonight. We're still not protecting the way we're supposed to. We're not functioning well enough and taking advantage of some of the opportunities we've had. So we'll look at that. Our third down numbers were better. I'm sure our red zone numbers were a little better, but yeah, we had some penalty situations. The one drive, heck, we had like 3 or 4 penalties. I lost track.
Don, it seemed like you guys had trouble with Waller and that you tried a lot of different combinations. Was it just you just couldn't find a combination that worked on him?
Listen, you're exactly right. You know, and so to let one of those guys like that get into our defense the way he did, that's our own fault. That's our own fault.
Sean, what was the issue was there anything in particular you couldn't get with not being able to get off the field? I know that had to be frustrating because you couldn't get the ball back to your offense to get into a rhythm.
Look, I honestly, we have to look at the tape, but you got to credit Las Vegas. You know, those guys did a great job. They got in and out of plays versus our coverage looks. You know, and one by one, they made the plays when they needed to, especially in the last half of that game. You know, third quarter, fourth quarter, our third down numbers were poor, and we didn't do a good job of stopping one of their better players.
Any sense of whether the penalties, and it's the second week in a row over 110 yards, I guess, resulted from just, you know, guys struggling to stay with their man and doing whatever they could to recover, or, you know, or just really a mistaken technique?
Well, look, there weren't just defensive fouls. You know, there were more than just defensive fouls, but obviously we're not going to win when we have that many penalties, and that we got to get that cleaned up. I thought we played poorly in the secondary, honestly. All right, thank you, guys.
All right, that's Coach Payton family chiming in. Let's go to some statistics here. You know, let's make sense of it. Let's look at the stats. And I'm a caution. I know the family members upset because the Saints really gave us away here. You know, they gave it away. Hold on, fam. Let me take that off of there so y'all can see the statistics. All right, let's go into the statistical breakdown right here. Let's do it the team statistics first. Let's start with that first. If we look at the team statistics in the matchup, for the family members, 28 first downs and 26 advantage the Raiders. You look at the third down efficiency, like Coach Payton talked about. The Saints were 7-11 on third down plays as well. 10 of 17 was the Raiders. They were 2 of 2 on fourth down, by the way. Did you know that? And this is the thing. You're going to have a difficult time beating the Raiders if you allow any team, if they have 76, they have almost 20 more plays than you. That means they took the ball out of your hands because that's insane. That is literally insane for the Raiders to have 76 plays this game. And I was looking at the clock in my head, and I wasn't paying attention to the statistics. I was going to look at the statistics after the game was to see, and the stats do make sense. They make it. That's why the game was what it was. The Raiders took away most of the possessions from the Saints. And I ain't saying takeaways in terms of a turnover. I mean, they possessed the ball and squeezed the ball to the point where they let the air out of the ball, depriving you of any time left. And then you had to go through a 2-minute offense to try to hurry up and win the game. That's what I was saying should have been used on your adversary. I said that. Let's keep that in our minds. They had 76 plays. 76. You had 57. That's almost 20 more plays that they ran than you. That's insane. Even though the fact the Saints had more yardage, 424 to 375, but man, 76 to 57 on total plays, that is absolutely ridiculous. The Saints had more yards per play, almost 7.5 versus the Raiders, 5 flat. The passing yards, 312 to 259. The rushing yards, 112 to 116, advantage Raiders. Red zone, 3 or 4, both were 3 for 4. Penalties was a major problem. Once again, miscues and penalties, 10 of them in this game for 129 yards. You will not win many games if you have that amount of penalties and you allow another team to have almost 20 more possessions than you have. Listen to the statistics now. Listen, because that's where a lot of opportunities came for you to get back in this game. The Raiders took them away from you. And that's what I call possessing the ball or being a master of the clock. He who possess or dominate the line of scrimmage dominates the clock. 10 penalties for 129 yards. Raiders just 3 for 13. Gonna win every time with that. Couple of turnovers apiece, and look at the time of possession. He who dominates the line of scrimmage wins the clock as well. 36-18 was the time of possession for the Raiders. The Saints, 23 minutes and 42 seconds. Family, that's over what? It's a quarter more. Think about that. They had the ball 36 minutes. The Saints had it 23 minutes and 42 seconds. What, that is a difference of 13, 14 minutes? Now do you see the possession of the clock? 36-18 the Raiders versus the Saints 23-14. 12 or 13-minute clock difference. That's how you see. You had the ball for over 10 more minutes of the game than the Saints had it, and they were able to take that extra 10 minutes and put up over 20 more drives on your ass. Let's look at the statistics here. Let's go to the box score next. That's very telling, man. The clock management, that's outstanding. Over 12 minutes more they had the ball than you did, and over 20 more possessions. They had 20 more plays than you did in the game. That's incredible. That's insane. All right, let's go over some of these statistics. It's just mind-boggling statistics here, man. I'm just keep it real. All right, let's start with the Saints. 26 of 38 for Breeze, 312. He averaged 8.2 yards per throw, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. He wasn't sacked. QBR rating of 61.4 in the contest. And he was 26 of 38. That's not too bad. 312 yards would make it look a little worse is the fact that he had that interception there. But if you look at the statistics, it's not really a bad look because Carr had 2 more attempts more than he did with the same number. Carr was 28 of 38 as opposed to Breeze 26 of 38. But of course, Carr had three touchdowns with no interceptions, even though he was sacked 3 times. He also had 282 yards, and he was able to move the ball at will. Now, how was Carr able to do this? How? Let's look at the statistics. The rushing stats. Josh Jacobs, the same guy said you could not let go, and the Saints didn't allow him to score touchdowns. But boy, did they let him keep drives alive. That's how they was able to stockpile over 12 more minutes of time off the clock and dominate the clock. They dominate in double digits on the time of possession because of Josh Jacobs. It's 2 people, actually 3 people that was responsible for that. It was Derek Carr handing the ball off to Josh Jacobs, and it was Derek Carr throwing the ball to Darren Waller. Both people, I warned you had to stop to have a success in this contest. The Raiders literally we talk about dominating the line of scrimmage. We talk about see, the game is the game, man. The game is the game, family. It is. If you disrespect the game gonna come down on you hard. I keep telling you that. If you violate the rules of the game, you're gonna pay for it. And the Saints violated the rules of the game. They turned the ball over. They didn't make the proper adjustments. They were awful. They were awful. And let's keep it going. Josh Jacobs kept drives alive. He had 27 carries for 88 yards in the matchup. And the Saints kept him out under 100 yards. That's good. But he kept drives alive from the running game perspective to keep their offense balanced enough to be able to keep going, to cipher off over 10 minutes of time off the Saints clock. Not to mention, they brought in Darren Waller, who was really the catalyst for their offense going. He had 12 catches for 103 yards and a touchdown. The man had 12 catches off of 16 targets, and he caught a touchdown. He averaged 8.6 yards per catch. They act like nobody knew that Darren Waller existed. And I was telling you, you cannot let this man here is an X factor. You gotta, what the Saints do, they didn't double him up until after the second half when he had about 7 to 8 catches. And the funny part about it is this game was won in the second half for the Raiders because they piled on. Defense got stiff, held the Saints to a last-minute touchdown, a garbage time touchdown, which the Saints got in the back end, and they beat them. They scored 17 points in the second half on the Saints to push the game out of the way. They not only did they score on the Saints, but they kept the ball away from the Saints, kept the defense out on the field, kept Drew Brees off the field he only had 23 minutes to operate on the field, which he could not get rhythm. They did to us what I was saying we needed to do to them. And credit needs to be given to the Raiders, man. Because a lot of people picked them. The Saints should have beat this team. They sorry asses went out there and laid it down. Alvin Kamara, nine catches for 95 yards. Traquan Smith did good. He had 5 catches off of 7 targets, 86 yards. Ty Montgomery targeted 3 times. He dropped one of them. Deontay Harris was targeted 5 times. He also had a drop in the game. 3 catches for 23 yards. Nothing really big from the rest of those guys. Emmanuel Sanders was thrown at 3 times. He had 1 catch for 18 yards in the matchup. Look at the running game. Alvin Kamara, 13 carries for 79 yards. Had a couple of scores. Latavius Murray's numbers, 3 carries for 14 yards. When I seen that, I said, we going back to what we was. We going back to what we was. And that was the question I asked the Great Saint Think Tank last week was week 1 an aberration insofar as when Sean Payton gave Latavius Murray the ball 15 times. Now he's now 15 times he gave him the ball. Last game, he got 3 carries in this game, which at one point you had to abandon the run like that because the Raiders had ciphered off so much of your time, you had to hurry up. And when the defense got the fumble off of Jalen Richard, when they gobbled that up, he dropped it and gave you a gimmicky. The Saints couldn't even convert that. That's when I knew the game was in trouble. You couldn't convert the turnover. The momentum shifted. You could have stole the game's energy. The Saints could not convert it. They were incapable of converting it. The Raiders stopped them. Let's keep it going and keep it rolling here. As you can see, you see the fumbles right there. Derek Carr had a fumble. He lost one in the matchup as well. PJ Williams had a recovery of a fumble. That's the one that Richard put on the ground. Marcus Williams was the top tackler. 9 tackles. DeMario had 8 and a tackle for loss. Marshawn Lattimore and PJ Williams, along with Malcolm Jenkins and David Onyemata, all had 7 tackles in the matchup. And, you know, most of the times when you see your secondary guys high in tackles is because the running back is getting to the second and third layer of the team. Anytime it's not a good thing. No interceptions today. Nicholas Burrow did pick up for the Saints. Nicholas Burrow, the backup linebacker, picked off Drew Brees. Drew didn't even see him, threw it right to him. Deontay Harris on punt returns today. He had 2 kick returns for 64 yards. He had averaged 32 yards per return on that. He had no punt returns on the afternoon. Will Lutz was 1 of 1. Daniel Carson was 2 of 2 in the matchup as well, kicking the final field goal that put the Saints a 54-yard one that put them ahead by 10 over the Saints. Morstead 3 punts. He put 2 of the 3 inside the 20 to back them all up, but that made no difference because the Raiders were still able to march the length of the field because they were able to use 2 weapons outside the quarterback. They were able to find Darren Waller to convert, to keep drives alive, and they were able to use Josh Jacobs. Both were on my scouting report that I covered, and several shows that said you have to neutralize Josh Jacobs and you have to cover up Darren Waller and force Derek Carr to find somebody else. Notice he was not throwing the ball to his wide receivers. Each of his wide receivers had Zay Jones, who had a touchdown, which looked looked really mysterious to me. But Josh Jacobs had 3 catches. The running back Nelson had 1. Foster, the tight end, had 1. Hunter Renfrow caught 3 from the slot. Edwards had 2. And notice that the way the Raiders were keeping their offense alive by going to running backs and tight ends. Their offense, their wide receivers was non-existent in this game, except for what Zay was able to do with the touchdown. But their game was to utilize Darren Waller, and you let him beat you. Even though the scouting report had this brother lined up as is the key weapon for this team. You can't let Jacobs run, and you got to stop Waller. Saints didn't do either. They did hold him under 100, but they let him procure first downs to keep drives alive, and that's why they were able to extend out over 10 minutes more of time of possession on your ass than man. Let me go back here and let me look at this, because I don't know if this is a very rare thing for me to see. I'm gonna go back to team statistics, and I'm gonna come back to the mainstream. I'm gonna put a link in the chat, and I'm gonna have the family members to chime in. But this is a very rare thing for me to see, covering as many of these damn games as I did, to come back and see this stat right here, the total plays. They had, look at this, 76. The Raiders had 76 total plays today. They had 76 total plays to 57 for the Saints. 76, partner. 76, that's almost 20 more possessions. That's 20 more plays than you had. The time of possession over 10 minutes, 23-42 for the Saints versus 36-18 for the Raiders. 36-18. The Saints had, are you kidding me? That's 13 more minutes they had the ball. That's ridiculous. Them numbers just dumbfounding. That is absolutely dumbfounding to know that team had the oh my goodness, are you kidding? Are you kidding me? That team had the ball 12, 13 minutes more than you had, and had almost 20 more plays than you. That is amazing to me to see that go on like that. But that shows you, those 2 real stats showed you the domination that the Raiders used on the Saints today. Absolutely amazing, man. We flopped big one in this one. We flopped the hell out of this one. But anyway, let me keep going. Who there to the family members chiming in the live stream as we break down the stats. I played old man Peyton. You heard what he was saying. He sounded a little bit defeated. But of course, you know, the coach ain't take a look to go and look at the film and see, well, we don't know what's going on. He going over basically his recollection of what just happened. When he takes a look at that film, boy, you're going to hear all kind of cuss words. You're going to hear all kind of damn cuss words flying around that locker room. You know, you should. That was domination when they held the ball 13 more minutes in the time of possession battle than you did. And then they had almost 20 more plays than you did in that game. You lucky you ain't lose by more than 10. That's the thing. And you only lost by 10, and they had 20 more possessions than you did, and 13 more minutes on the clock than you. That is absolutely, and Tyra says 13 minutes, that's a quarter. That is absolutely right. That's the perfect way to quantify it, Tyra. Tyra said 13 minutes, that's a quarter. They had a whole quarter more of football than your ass. Remember what I talked about being the master of the clock? Remember what I said about that? That's what I'm talking about. When I talked about dominating the clock and dominating the line of scrimmage. When you dominate the line of scrimmage, you win the clock game. When you dominate the line of scrimmage, you win the possession game and the play game. And that's kudos, man. I ain't gonna hate on the Raiders. You know, people can be mad all they want. The Raiders won the goddamn game because the Saints ain't did what they were supposed to do. They were supposed to go up in there and run the goddamn ball like that. They were supposed to run the ball 20 times in the game with Latavius Murray. But what did Sean Payton do? He went right back to his normal bullshit. Let me take a look at the statistics. I'm going to tell you exactly how many carries Latavius Murray got. 3 carries this game for 14 yards. 3. Last game, Latavius had 15 carries. And I said to myself, man, I wonder if Sean Payton going to keep that going. Well, he answered my question. Man, if you'd have done that, you would have beat this team. But see, that's why I talk about dumbass play calling and bad game management, like you calling bad play management, bad timeout management, misuse of the timeouts, Like when they called a timeout with 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Why are you burning timeouts like that? And then challenge the play when you ain't have a chance of overturning that. You lost that too. Getting in the way. Getting in the way, not doing the right stuff. Anyway, we got the link is in the chat. All right, family. I put the link in the chat for the people. Remember, there's no phone line here on this version of the show. You got to hit that link to get on the show and talk to me. And remember, family, I'm gonna let you in, but be mindful that you get to the points and drop your points. I ain't trying to rush you or nothing, but express yourself. But be mindful of the family members that'll be coming behind you. Because people gonna want to express themselves. I know you're frustrated. Well, guess what? Now you can express yourself and get some of that off your chest, and don't go to sleep mad. I'm giving you an opportunity not to get that off your chest, so you don't go to bed mad. Because it ain't good to go to bed mad. All right, good to see you in the chat there. Gundam, big ups. He says Saints not using Sanders properly. Drew can't scan the field like the days old. They still need to get that rhythm, bro. They still out of rhythm. Miscellaneous, we have to run out. He says we got to run out the gate, especially to help Breeze at the point in his career. Sean is getting high off of something or his ego. Thank you, Miscellaneous Mail. That's absolutely right. That's why I was speaking about getting Latavius Murray more involved in the game plan. You absolutely right. Nola boy Kevin Conley says Ken Crawley was playing today. All right, we're gonna start off. We got Brother Paul up, and then Brother Joshua is chiming up. We're gonna put Brother Paul in the chat.
What's going on, Big Q?
Nothing much, my brother.
This was absolute. I've seen some bad games over the years, Q, but this is it. Got to be in the top 10.
Yeah, this wasn't a good. This wasn't a good one. You're echoing that, Brother Paul.
Hold on one second.
Yeah, this wasn't good at all. This game, I ain't gonna. I tell you no.
Hold on one second. That better?
All right. No, it's still echoing, my brother.
Still echoing?
Mm-hmm.
Let me try this one. Can you hear me?
Yep. Still echoing, my brother. We got JT Raider and Daryl Hatcher. Y'all be patient. Right when Brother Paul finish, I'm gonna bring y'all up next.
I think we got it now, Q.
Okay.
It's
still echo.
This is just terrible, Q. It's just terrible. How do you motivate a team after the play like this, man?
You show them the film.
That's
how you do it, bro.
It's this Tyrus, she called it, man. It's like this team is just going backwards mentally. It's like Paw getting all timers and still think he can drive and all that. You got at some point, Q, you got to take the keys. You got to take the keys. Paw could go out there, Rick, and hurt himself and 10 other people. But he still think he can drive. I've been driving since 42. And all Paw, you 75, you can't Chubb Pate, it got acting like he got a 75-year-old mind frame out there when they come to call and he play. Now I was shocked. Now we talked about the wrinkles when he handed that ball to Devontae Harris. I was shocked. He did a few wrinkles. I was surprised. Somebody was listening, but he didn't do it for the whole game, Q. You just can't do it for a few times to go away from it. He should have kept giving the ball to Murray. I mean, Shelby just can't get out of his own way, Q. He just can't do it. What was the difference between last week and this week? You could have did the same thing. We talked about it, Q, all week long. Run the ball, play defense, and just give Drew, the little.
Brother Paul clicked off. All right, Brother Paul, when you get back up, you dropped off. I'm sorry that he dropped off. Okay, we're gonna bring up the next brother here. All right, JT Raider, how you doing, fam?
He
come with the James Bond laugh.
What's up, brother?
What's going on, JT? How you doing, buddy?
Good, man. You?
I'm doing okay, buddy. I'm doing okay.
All right.
That's as good as I can do right now. Obviously, I'm not doing it. See, fam, like see, and you know what I said, JT. Listen, man, let me tell you, I take the hits, man, like I play for the team. I might as well go get a goddamn check because I take the hits, man. I mean, I really do. But go ahead, JT, man. You go ahead and laugh, bro. You got it, bro. Y'all.
No, it's all good, man. Hey, like I told you, man. I said 0 sacks on Carr, dude. You guys got 3. You called it, dude. You said 3. Holy shit, dude. Yeah, he came at it, man. Y'all defense was boss, dude. They came at it, bro.
Well, for a quarter, so.
Yeah. But like I said, man, you gotta watch out for Cook. You gotta watch out for Waller, dude. Like, I don't even. Yeah. I appreciate it, dude. That was an awesome game. I told you I'd come back here after the game. That was awesome. Look at you laughing, bro. I know you sad, bro, but don't worry.
No, bro, I can't. I mean, I'm laughing because of you, man. You just sitting up here basking in the glory, man. You basking in the glory. You see, I take the hits, fam. I take the hits like I'm on the team, man. I'll take the hits, man. Hey, what can I tell you, bro? Good, but listen, good win for you, bro. You know, it's all good, man. Y'all 2-0, got a good win. Listen, I got to give credit to Carr. Called 3 touchdowns in the game. He was able to find Waller. You know, I was saying all week about Waller and covering them up, gave up the scouting report, broke it down, the keys to victory, and we could not do it. The Saints did not make the proper adjustments to cover Waller up. And when they finally started double teaming him, he almost had 10 catches by that time. So, I mean, and then, of course, Jacobs was there as well. So the Raiders defense stiffened at the back end, and they did what they were supposed to do. So much credit to the Raiders. They got to win, bro.
Yeah, no, 100%. No, you called it, dude. You absolutely 100%. You tried to warn people about Darren Waller and for yeah. Like I said, dude, I appreciate it, man. And I'm here every week, dude. I love you guys, man. You guys are awesome.
Well, thank you.
I just
JT,
had to.
You had to come in and laugh like a Bond villain. I got you. Go ahead, JT. Let it out, man. Go ahead and let it out, bro.
No, but you called it, man. You're awesome, brother. I love you, man. Good show, as always.
Thank you, JT. I appreciate you. All right, bro. Well, thank you, man. And we'll see you later, buddy. Thank you.
All
right, peace, bro. All right, that was JT. Just see what I'm saying. I take the hits too, fam. I take the hits, and you know, JT, you know, and that's what it is. It's all right, brother Hatch. How you doing, my friend?
You ain't gotta do that, Q.
Say, that's bro. I mean, bro. Listen.
Tell him stop smoking them damn cigarettes. Tell him stop smoking them damn cigarettes.
Brother Daryl, he was right though.
We were supposed to win.
I know, bro, but we
did penalties. Hold up. Yeah. Gargle with some baby oil or something. I ain't trying to hear all that, bro. Nah. This is Saints channel. Do that over there where they at. It's cool. It's cool though. It's cool. It's cool. We got our coach. We give them the coaching matter of that. We give them that. All that disrespect that he did, keep that in Las Vegas or wherever he at. This is the Who That Nation. I know you can't say nothing, big dog, but I can. Keep that over there where you at, bro. We got out coach. The defense did not stand up, but he do just like you said. Though I gotta humble myself too. They should have did a whole lot. The defense should have did better than what they did. And for the people that's talking about Drew Brees, bro, knows football, bro. He had one or two, maybe three bad plays. How many plays did we run on offense, Q?
The Saints ran I mean,
How many
unbelievable.
plays did we run on offense?
56, I won't say,
50
brother
something?
Hatcher. Let me pull it up. I think it was 56. I'm gonna pull it up. I got
We
this
ran like
cut it off.
56.
They had like
56. Drew Brees threw like 4. He threw about 4 or 5 bad plays. He threw about 4 or 5.
57, brother
That
Hatcher.
does not make the game.
57
2
plays
or
for us,
3
76 for them.
bad calls, 57. This was a team loss. It had some. We could say, yeah, man, it was the referees and all that, bro. It's that shit gone, bro. That's gone. It's too late for that, bro. We did have some bad plays. Drew Brees did throw some bad passes and all that. But we a team. Well, I ain't out there playing. This is a team game, bro. The Saints lost. The Saints lost. And I don't know if you remember, Q, but last year when we lost Drew Brees, I called and I made a bold prediction and said that Teddy Bridgewater was about to do something. I'm gonna make another bold prediction here today, bro. I think that the Saints got their shit together. I really do think that the Saints got their stuff together, bro. And this was the wake-up call, just like the Atlanta game last year, just at week 2. And one person I won't call out. You ready for this, Q?
I'm ready.
You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Cam Jordan, where are you? It's been 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks. Where are you? The only time I heard your name called was on a horse collar. You are the best defensive lineman by far on the Saints team. But right now, I look like Trey Hendrickson.
Yep.
But we got a lot to look forward to, bro. And I really do think we showed rust. I don't think that our defensive, but you know what they say, you're not as good as your best game, but you're not as bad as your worst. I think we got a medium in here somewhere that we're gonna find, and I think we're gonna be all right though. But I'm about to sign out, bro. It's who that to my roof black though. We still about to go. I still say about 10-8.
I mean, we still gonna win the
10-8.
game. Listen, we've been doing.
That
I mean,
this Super Bowl, baby.
There you go. Thank you, brother Daryl. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate it, my man. Thank you for your support, my man. And
10-8.
much love to you, brother.
All right, bro.
Peace out. Who that?
Appreciate you, bro. Keep doing what you're doing, bro. We love you, man.
Same here, bro. Thank you, bro. Who that?
Downtown.
Thank you, D. All right, let's move on. We got 3 more people on the line. We got brother Gerard next. We got Freddie and then Raheem 21. Y'all, brothers, stay patient. I'm gonna get y'all, and also let the family members know that we're gonna put a link in the chat, and that's to get on the show. We're gonna keep it going. Here go brother Gerard coming up next. How you doing, brother Gerard?
Yo, what's up?
What's up, fam? How you doing, bro?
I'm gonna let you look at my face, man.
You took quite the pause there, brother Gerard.
Not good, man. Not good. Not good. Not good.
Well, bro, listen, let me say this, brother Gerard, to you, bro. We got to get over this quick, bro. We got a short week, and we got Green Bay, and they averaged 40 points, 43 or 44 points on the offense over the last two games, even though they got subpar talent they playing, but we got to get ready for them in the dome coming up soon, bro. So short week, we got to bounce back.
Well, what I'm gonna say on that, man, is Green Bay they go watch the tape and they go play us just like just like the Raiders and just like Tampa Bay played us. They don't fear that we ain't gonna throw the deep ball, so that they don't have to, they ain't gonna fear that. And the Packers have a really good pass defense, really good, really good. The only thing susceptible is the linebacking core. That's the only thing susceptible. But as far as the pass, man, it's pretty good. And from what I saw from what I saw a couple of hours ago, people have to understand that the offense and defense, they go hand in hand. It's a symbiotic relationship. If the offense drop off and the defense keep doing their thing, it's only gonna be so long until the defense just start giving up big plays. And what I seen from the offense, it was okay. I saw Traquan Smith. He caught balls, but you already know how I feel about him. I'm kind of thinking too little, too late, and we really feeling lost of Michael Thomas. We really feeling the loss of Michael Thomas, and then to say he's going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks. You got the Packers, you got the Lions, you got the Chargers. So hopefully we can get him back after the bye week. But I'm not trying to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm gonna be realistic. I could see us losing to the Packers. People really looking at the schedule. People really underestimated the Raiders. They really did. I know there's some Saints fans that they probably didn't know Darren Waller was that good. I remember when the Ravens drafted him back in 2015 and 2016. He's a former wide receiver, and the guy run like a 4.4. So there was some throws Derek Carr should have made. I saw. I think it was the first quarter. He had Ruggs wide open. Wide open. He overshot Ruggs. He had Ruggs wide open, and they got Brian Edwards. He's pretty good. I've seen him. Seen him. I watched the games when he played against Carolina, and it just looked like he was giving Marshawn Lattimore a run for his money, man.
Yeah, he was giving them problems over there.
And Hunter Renfrow is a really good slot guy. He's really good. He could have done more damage than he did, and man, it was just a disappointing loss. And like you said, we gonna have to get over this quickly because you got another prime time game here Sunday, and again, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, man. It's gonna be more of the same. You're not gonna pass on the Packers like that because you don't have the personnel. Them people go come in, they gonna make some tackles. When you're doing that underneath stuff, they gonna make tackles. You saw what's that guy, Jonathan Abram? How that man came in and just put the power on him, and just when Michael Thomas, went down, I keep saying this: the Saints have a weakness at wide receiver, man, and people just don't want to be realistic. And Sanders, he really don't know the offense. So I think it's only so much Sanders could do. And man, I'm just thinking, man. Is this Drew last year with us, man?
No, I don't think so. He win the Super Bowl. I think he comes back and repeat. And we will win the Super Bowl. Like I said, I'm kind of like I said, bro. I'm 30 plus years in this thing, and I pay attention to the trends of history. And we've been through this several seasons straight, where the offense come out the gate not looking like themselves, and then by the third or fourth week, they're on fire. So I just want all the family members who to understand that and be patient and watch it develop. I think a lot of what we're seeing is bad play calling and not execution. Right now, it should be running the ball. We don't need to be throwing the ball around like we doing. We should, and that's just my take on it. But I didn't like what he did. I love what he did against the Buccaneers. He didn't do that. Latavius had 3 carries in this game. That was a bad look, and he tried to force feed and get back to the standard offense that he accustomed to. You can't force that in there like that. You have to let that organically grow into what it is, and it's going to take time. So I mean, that's what it's going to take. Cold part about it is the third game is upon you, and in a few days from now, when Sunday roll around, you got the Packers. That's game number 3. So I mean, this is a Super Bowl team, bro. They're gonna take this to heart, man. They're gonna take this to heart, and this is a good loss insofar as maybe this will force Peyton and some of the brass to look at the team realistically and see that, you know what, we might need another edge rusher. You know what, we might need another DB. You know what, we might need another edge, somebody here or there. This could be the thing, because you got a tough 4 in the Packers. The Packers are firing on all cylinders right now, and you got to squash them down, man. This could get ugly fast. But, like I said, we still a team, I believe, a double-digit team. We're going to win the NFC South in the back end, and it's just a matter of time before the offense catch up. But, Gerard, give me one more point, bro. I got Brother Freddie, I got Brother Raheem 21, and I got Last Saint that's lined up, my brother. Give me a fire point, which you think going to happen moving forward.
All I'm going to say is, man, looking forward, you can't there is no gimme wins. You can't look at the Lions and say that you're going to beat them or the Chargers. I watched that Chargers game against the Chiefs. They stopped the Chiefs' offense. The Chargers could have won that, and I believe they should have won that.
They should have won that game.
They should have won that game. And we just gotta we gonna take this, and Sean Payton has to get back to the Sean Payton of the 2011 when him and Drew used to get together and really sit there and come up with plays. He has gotten away from that, and I don't want to say he's resting on his big name, but I seen this in the chat. Teams don't fear Drew anymore. And as the game went on, the tide changed. To say the Raiders had a makeshift O-line, they protected Carl pretty well, and our pass rushers didn't really get too many sacks outside of that first half. Outside of the first half, they didn't get too many sacks, and I hope this don't be the tail of the tape come Sunday and weeks going forward.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it'll shift, and I think we'll make an adjustment. History is saying a lot of pressure on the team. The Super Bowl team, I think they get it together, bro. They're going to sit down and talk about it, and you're going to see them come out and perform, bro. That's just my opinion. But thank you, Brother Gerard. Thank you for chiming in, my brother. Super Bowl team, bro. This is a Super Bowl team. You ain't got nothing to be hanging your head about, bro. At the end of the day, we're going to be hosting that hardware. That's all that matters. But who that to you? Much love, my brother. Thank you, Brother Gerard. All right, we're going to move on to the next one. We got Brother Freddie chiming in next. We got Raheem 21, and then Last Saint. Y'all be patient. I'm going to get to y'all, brothers. Brother Freddie is on there. What's going on, Brother Freddie?
What up, Q?
Nothing much, my brother, talking to the family after a really tough loss by 10 to the Raiders.
Yeah, I watched it. There's a condition that all humans have the capabilities of inheriting, and that condition is called complacency. And our head coach has a heavy dose of it. I'm not in denial. I said it before. I love Drew. In my eyes, Drew is the GOAT. However, there's a shelf life on everything and everybody. Drew is there. I ain't dumping the whole load on Drew. But the quarterback is the heart and soul of the team. The most important position on the team. We cannot contend with any of these other NFC and AFC giants when they got young studs that are mobile and can throw the ball. All Drew did this summer was diminish his accuracy for strength. And I'd rather have the accuracy. Now, what good it do to be able to throw the ball 50, 60 yards, but you can't accurately get it to the receiver or the tight end, and you get it picked. You feel me?
Right.
And I understand the camaraderie with Peyton and Drew. They've been together a long time. They had a lot of success. But we found ourselves talking about this at the end of last season.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how many more games and seasons we can go through with this being the head of the top. I mean, everybody see this. I've been seeing it when Drew was 39. I'm like, damn, Drew getting up there. It's gonna be time to hang his cleats up soon. Now, at some point, the good of the team needs to supersede your personal accolades. I mean, I'm proud to say we got the all-time pass yard leader and highest completions and most TDs. But if we gonna do a early round exit out of the playoffs year after year due to quarterback play mostly and topping it off with bad play calling, I mean, Kamara, he did it last year. He overdosing teams with Kamara. Everybody knows Kamara's skill set. So first off the top, they go home in on him. Michael Thomas is out. So now they done wrote us off as long as Michael Thomas ain't playing, and now it looks like we one-dimensional. When Murray, every time he get the ball, he moving the crowd. And he refused to consistently run Murray at these teams and get the DBs and the safeties relaxed. Then you take a big chunk down the field. Drew didn't attempt not a one. Emmanuel Sanders come from the West Coast offense. I watched Peyton this earlier yesterday, saying that he's learning the system. He kind of threw. I don't know if you caught it or not, but he kind of threw Drew under the bus in his post-game interview. And eventually that's going to get ugly. That's why I said it earlier, well, like back in August, and you know, I got the ugly face from some of the family members, but you know, it's time for Jameis to arrive, because if our secondary do this against Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers, he gonna eat us for lunch, and then we're gonna be in another post game virtual live show talking about the same thing. I mean, it's enough blame to go. I mean, it's enough blame. I give everybody a F for this one. I mean, make it make sense for me, Q. Maybe I'm just in my feelings because of the loss. But you know, what you think? You the philosopher.
Nah, bro. I just think that they look just like what I expect them to look in terms of the historical record says the Saints struggle. And I was saying, and I knew the offense, the passing offense wouldn't look like it what it's supposed to look like, unless that he used the run offense. When you know your passing offense is not in synchronicity or doesn't have synchronicity or it's not in harmony, you got to run the ball and then operate the play action, and then maybe you can spark it, and then you can start throwing the ball and mixing the run and the pass. This was one of those games where Sean Payton avoided. He got away from the physical style run. He went 3 to 4 wide receiver sets, and sometimes he had a tight end there. He tried to spread out the Raiders, and he would then, try to move the ball. And then when he ran the ball, he used dive runs where he'd get a ball, and then Kamara would then, one back set situation, 3 wide receivers, and then he'll drop back like he's going to throw and hand the ball over to Kamara, who then takes the ball and shoot up the middle and gain his yardage. I just thought that if you would utilize Latavius Murray, and then you can either decoy Kamara as a slot man, because you knew, that would have been a pretty good method to use to put Kamara as a wide receiver to kind of help decoy him so they could pay attention to him, so you can use Latavius Murray. They wasn't worrying so much about stopping Latavius Murray. And I think it had you use that strategy against one of his former old teams and gave him the ball. I think he would have got good results. But 3 running attempts for Latavius Murray after 15 in the first game shows me we're trending in the wrong direction, and that Sean Payton is using the wrong philosophy once again. So with a distasteful loss like this, I keep saying hopefully, because this guy is so freaking stubborn. This guy is so freaking stubborn. Just want me to just pop him upside his head and say, wake up. You can't keep doing this stuff because these people figured it out. You got to do something different. Go back to the running attack. If you'd have done that with Latavius Murray, you could have created, you could have had more of a possession. You could have gave your defense more rest. And Latavius, and listen, you're struggling with your offensive line. If they had troubles pass blocking today. They don't, if you give them listen, offensive linemen love to run block. It don't require, they just put their hands on the guy and grind them out. Give them a fullback, put the tight ends in there, and let's get old school, man. And then when we start running, then play action the thing, then you can start throwing like you want. But it's just entirely ridiculous, because when they thought they had something going, he couldn't sustain it because the offense then stalled out like it did last week in Tampa Bay. But fortunate enough, they were able to then get going again to put the game away. This time around, they couldn't extend the game and put it away, despite the fact that the defense provided a critical turnover on the back end to give the Saints an opportunity to create a mood swing, a momentum shift. And the Saints did not take advantage of that turnover when Rashard put the ball on the ground. And P.J. Williams counted it. So, I mean, it's just like you can't put it all on Drew. They have to have the running game. And I keep saying that. You have to have the running game first, and Drew operates second off the running game once it's established. Then you get the pass going. That is very simple. But Peyton has a try. He wants to throw the goddamn thing without establishing a run, or throw it and then operate the run in accordance with the pass, which is problematic. You can't do that. People hip to that. But Brother Fred, I appreciate you chiming in. We got 2 more. We got Raheem 21 and Brother Last St. John. But I appreciate the call, man, and dropping the knowledge. That's an interesting angle that you're coming at with about Drew Brees improving his arm strength, and they possibly could play a part in his accuracy issues. That's very interesting. So I appreciate you, brother, for your support and chiming in tonight, bro.
Yeah, it's all good, Q. Appreciate it.
No problem. Who that to you, my brother? Thank you. That was Brother Freddie chiming in. All right, we're going to bring Raheem 21, and we got Last Saint chiming in behind him. All right, here we go. How you doing there, Brother Raheem? How you doing? Yeah. Hold on here. You muted, my brother. Let me unmute you. Okay, there you go.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly, bro. How you doing?
All right, who that Big Q? Who that to everybody in the chat too? Who that family?
Who that to you, bro?
Just being somebody like you, Q, that's been watching the Saints all my life. Yes, we should, as fans, as the Who Dat Nation, we should be upset. It is a wake-up call, but I don't think we should overreact just yet. Just typically, if you look at football year to year, not just the Saints, but just about every team it takes about 3 weeks to get the offense really rolling. And we're no different with that. Now, the 36 minutes time of possession, I mean, we know that's something Sean Payton just does not focus on, man. 3 carries for Latavius Murray is terrible. I'm also want to point this out to you, Q. There was points in the game where we were in quarters defense. Like it was series where Anzalone wasn't even on the field.
Yeah.
It was series where Demario Davis was the only linebacker on the field, and we had 7 DBs. We had Malcolm Jenkins playing linebacker.
That's not That's not a strong.
No.
Bro, I don't like that package at all. I seen the some of them like, man, listen, they're not good, bro. When you got that many DBs on the, that's not a package that empowers you, bro. The great point, right?
And here's the thing: if you have DBs that's Pro Bowl DBs, you might could get away with that. Like years ago when Ty Bowles was the coordinator in Arizona, when he had the Honey Badger and everybody else, they had the best DBs, you know, along with the Legion of Boom. They had the best DBs. They could get away with that. But our DBs are not great at tackling. They're not great at covering. And we like that's when we went to quarters, I was like, man, they're gonna run the ball completely over us. And even when they didn't, it was the simple play action and wide open. Like it's like PJ Williams trying to cover Waller, man. Come on, bro. So we went from man, we went from man defense, man to man, which wasn't working because we was getting destroyed. We went to zone, which wasn't working. We went from a 4-3 over to a 3-3-5 to quarters. So Dennis Allen tried to adjust, but none of that crap was working. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that we can't extend the drive because Sean Payton refuses to run the ball. I don't understand why are we not working on play action more. Like that's just common sense. If you think your run game can't get there, then you could at least, you know, I mean, and that's my thing. Like last year when we had Teddy and we went 5-0, it was play action. Sean Payton was forced to coach better because he didn't have the same type of faith in Teddy Bridgewater that he had in Drew Brees, even though Teddy Bridgewater was very efficient for those 5 games. And it was all he had to do was manage the game. I don't understand why Sean Payton does not try that. Like, even with Drew, I know Drew can do everything. I know Drew's been here forever. I know, you know, we can talk about his failing arm. His arm has been failing for the last 15 years, honestly. That's not the issue because we saw Peyton Manning in his very last year when he was done, win a Super Bowl. Now, granted, he had one of the best defenses ever, but they ran the ball and they played defense and they won a Super Bowl. And all Peyton Manning had to do was complete third downs. That's it. And this is it. I just don't get it, man. It's one of those, okay, I can only be mad at the defense for missing tackles, not getting enough pressure. But if you on the field the whole game, man, I mean, they got an extra quarter on us. If you're on the field that long and your offense isn't constantly extending drives, man, that you got to change something. So it's week 2. It's a tough loss, but at the same time, I'm not too worried yet. Now, this game coming up is going to be a make or break game. I may change my opinion totally if the outcome is the same. However, I do believe that the Saints, man, we got to focus on the simple things like you said, they went to the tight end packages, the 3 tight end packages, and we went to quarters. Knowing that if tight ends can't catch it, if they're not going to catch it and beat us deep, they gonna block the hell out of us. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to run the ball. So Josh Jacobs killed us. Waller killed us, man. It just, you know, it was bad news from the get-go. Malcolm Jenkins, I think people overreacting. Malcolm Jenkins is a great player. A lot of guys are still somewhat out of football shape, but Malcolm Jenkins, man, he did have a sack. He did have a deflection. He got beat, but no safety. Other than maybe Jamal Adams and Derwin James can cover Waller. No safety. period, one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what I'm saying, Q. I'm not gonna keep you, man. I mean, I'm somebody, I speak a lot, so that's why I just keep going. But yeah, man, it's just it's frustrating. We definitely need to run the ball, brother. I'm with you 100%, man. And simplify the defense. It's too much going on. It's not enough. And I love the blitzes. When Demario Davis blitzes, he's one of the best blitzing inside linebackers in all of football. Him and Bobby Wagner, maybe. But just keep it simple, man. It's too much stuff going on. And, never have PJ Williams in single coverage on anything. Have him at safety. That you can't put him anywhere. He can tackle, which is something Marcus Williams, like we said, Marcus Williams leads the team in tackle. In any game, that's not good for us. That is not good. So the young man still can't tackle. But, I mean, it's not all his fault. It's a team effort. Tonight, the coaching was on both sides of the ball. I was like, what the hell is going on? But it's week 2. We got an opportunity to bounce back. We are Who Dat Nation. And I believe we're going to come out with a fire lit under our ass because we don't have no other choice, man. This is a Super Bowl or bust team. This is one of the best rosters that we've ever had. You can compare this roster to 2010 or whatever other season we might have had. This is one of the best rosters, top to bottom. The entire NFL is saying it, not just us.
Right.
So it's a surprise, but at the same time, for us that have been around, it's like, okay, it's just a wake-up call. Now it's time to get our stuff together, come out, show these Packers that we run in the NFC, not them. So that's all I got to say, my man. I'm about to finish cooking up in here. Give me something to eat and go straight to sleep. So I will leave. Of course, man, everybody in the chat, if y'all in the chat loving it, man, like the video, bro. Share it, man. Big Q put out all kind of great stuff, man. I'm a fan for life. So who that?
Thank you, Raheem. Appreciate you. Who that to you, my brother. See you later, my brother. Thank you, my man. Peace out. That was Raheem. All right. Thank you, Raheem, man. Thank the family members, man. That's great support. We got Last Saint coming up in 985. Last Saint, how you doing, brother?
I'm hearing a lot of trash coming out of these people's mouths right now. Oh my God.
Okay, bro. Let's see what you thought. What you thought on the game tonight, bro? What you thought about it? What they did right? I hit you with what they did right because I know you can tell me what. We got a list of
Okay. I got that. All right. I'll tell you what they did right. They utilized Alvin Kamara to the best of their abilities. Let me try to see what they did right. Hold on, I'm trying to find some other things what they did right. Okay, hold on, I'm still looking.
Ain't too much, bro.
I can tell you what they did wrong, though.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. They did a lot of wrong today.
Well, I can start out right at the bat and tell you the first sin that they did wrong is they didn't run the ball at all. That's the first sin. When you're 17-7, 10-point lead. We not the Falcons. 10-point lead got choked.
Yep.
Okay. Look, Latavius is Mr. 7 yards per carry. Don't matter where he get the ball, what he does with it. I mean, you can tie his hands behind his back and put the ball between his legs. Dude's getting 10 yards per carry.
Especially against one of his old teams, right?
One of his old team, man. Alvin Kamara getting busy in the backfield. They didn't run the ball with him either. Saints defense. I watched the game top to bottom, dude. I ain't trying to hear none of that. Malcolm Jenkins didn't do this. Malcolm Jenkins didn't do that. Dude got dragged by Josh Jacobs. Dude jumped on his back. That's why I hate our Saints defense. Every time we play against a good running back, it looked like Beastquake. That's got to stop, dude. Let me tell you something else. Marcus Williams, that guy's softer than tissue, man. Look, check this out. I saw one play where I think it was a running back had got hit low, and Marcus Williams tried to hit the guy high. He didn't even hit him hard. Imagine that was Alex Anzalone. Dude would have lost his soul.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Who else? Andrews Pete. I ain't trying to hear that. All right. You wrong for this one. I'm calling you out on this. He is not good. All right. He ain't good. He almost got Drew Brees killed 2 times. And you know how Drew Brees is when that pocket collapsed. Dude looks like game is over with. Drew Brees looking like last year in the playoffs when that O-line was collapsed. Drew Brees looked like he was about to die, okay? Now, what else can I say that was wrong? Let's talk about Marshawn Lattimore. Dude getting burnt by 3rd string, 4th string cornerbacks. I'm going to say it, and I don't care what anybody else think. Jack Rabbit is a better cornerback than him. Whether you want to say overall experience, overall tenure in the NFL, he puts dudes on lockdown. All right. I don't understand how that tight end was getting busy on us, man. I didn't see a lot of skilled players that night. And Emmanuel Sanders got put on a milk carton, bro. Emmanuel Sanders is supposed to be a number 1 wide receiver. So if Michael Thomas falls, Emmanuel Sanders is supposed to pick up the load. None of those wide receivers got busy at all, man. Traquan Smith, he got 3 catches? I think the first catch he caught, he looked like he was about to get killed again.
I think he had 5 of them. I think I want to say 5
5
catches
of 'em?
tonight. Mm-hmm.
Dude, they got our punt returner as a wide receiver, man.
Trying to create a spark, bro.
On.
You need to put Taysom on that milk carton too now, bro. He was missing in action in this one too.
Everybody was missing in action, man. Look, let me tell y'all something, man. I ain't trying to hear that Drew Brees can play to 45, man. Any quarterback over 40 need to go retire or sit down somewhere, bro. Or be a coach. I don't even want to talk about our quarterbacks, man. We got a utility quarterback and we got an interception prone quarterback. All right. Come on, I don't even know anymore, man. But this is an overreaction because I remember after 2016 when the Falcons choked that 28-3 lead, and in the previous year, 2015, when Cam Newton didn't know how to jump on fumbles, we lost our first 2 games. And who do we lose our first 2 games to? We lost our first 2 games to top 5 teams. Those 2 teams were top 5 teams overall in the whole NFL that 2017 year. That was the Vikings and that was the Patriots. Then we went on an 8-game streak and we got 11-5 miraculously. And then the next year, we almost choked to the Texans. And then we had we got our brains blown out by the Rams. And then we went 13-3. And the same thing is gonna happen this year because we make adjustments and we make matchups. I knew we weren't going to blow this team off the doors because I knew the matchups. And I know when you got 2 veteran head coach callers like Sean Payton and Gruden, things were gonna get off the rocker. But Sean Payton needs to be held accountable. He's the sole. He's a head coach. You shouldn't be. Look at Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick got his offensive coordinator and he gives responsibilities out. Dude's taking too much. He's doing too much. You're the head coach. You have to delegate responsibilities to your counterparts. That's like a general having his captains. Right?
Yep.
And
he leading
overall, it was atrocious, man. This is just pathetic. But I'm going to say this and I'm going to let you say something because I know you got something you want to say.
I'm listening to you, bro, because you're making plenty of good sense.
I can barely hear you. What the hell's going on with this?
I said I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I have my volume off.
Okay. No, I mean, you making good sense, bro. You go ahead and make your points and I'll tell you what I think, bro, because you making good points.
Look, I ain't trying to hear this Aaron Rodgers nonsense because he's washed up too. Dude blew the doors off of 2 whack teams. All right, it's prone to happen. Kirk Cousins is garbage. All right, it's a fact. Kirk Cousins is garbage. He robbed Minneapolis for the 3rd time, I think. Look, Aaron Rodgers is not about to blow the doors off of this team at all. I can promise you that, because we'll make our matchups, we'll make our adjustments. Only thing I'm hoping is PJ Williams ain't solely covering anybody, and Marcus Williams not forced to tackle anybody. Because if that's the case, I'm burning my jersey like I almost did in 2017. All right, and that's the truth. Because after that 2013 game, I had depression for at least 2 days. All right, because I can't take this anymore, man. But that's going to be a battle. The Packers game is going to be a matchup battle. I promise you this: if we don't run that ball, we're dead in the water. The Saints' chance of going 13-3 is going 11.
Are you okay? Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you froze on me for a second. But you said that the chances of 13-3, you say, for the Saints is what?
I said the chances of 13-3 goes away if we can't run the ball.
I agree, bro. I mean, that's a major part of it, man. You got to be able to run the damn ball, man, and that's why one of the main reasons you lost tonight. You know, that's a part of it. You can't have Latavius Murray, you know, and give him 3 carries on a night. And then what kind of message is that setting to Latavius? In the first matchup, you give him 15, and then the next matchup, you give him 3. I mean, the same game plan could have helped you beat the team in week 1, the same as week 2, the same recipe. You didn't have to deviate from anything. So, I mean, I think that's a part of it, man, is that we got to understand we have to bring the heavy pound game involved in it. And it just can't get that in his head. And that's the thing that's really killing Sean Payton right here with these losses, because this loss is on him tonight. Even though the defense looked pathetic, you have to look at the coach and say, well, why aren't you running the ball? Well, I ran Latavius Murray, Big Q. I ran him, man. Latavius Murray. I mean, not Latavius, Elvin Kamara. I ran him. Q, you had 13 carries for 79 yards and 2 touchdowns. I ran the ball, but it's a misleading running style he's using. He's using the run, but the run plays is coming out of a pass play, if you know what I mean. He goes into a play, and then it shifts to a run play when he spreads the defense out, that's a way to acute. But listen, when you know your offense is struggling, you have problems all across the board with the offensive line. The best thing you can do is put them tight ends, put that fullback in there, use that 6'3", 230-pound running back, and hammer the hell out those Raiders. Hammer the hell out of them. And they used the game plan, the recipe that I was talking about against the Saints. So the Raider Nation family members of the Raider Nation fans that's in here took the game plan back to Gruden and say, look at this. And Gruden's old school. Gruden's builds his defense is heavy up front, and he runs the ball. He comes from that Bill Cowher school of thought. I keep telling you, you're a finesse, throw it all over the field person. You're going to get your ass handed to you every time if you meet a coach who has a good defense in the running game. He'll take possessions away from you. And I told you, he'll squeeze every piece of air out of that ball, and they took away a quarter length from you and had 20 more plays than you did in this matchup. So at the end of the day, the Saints did a lot of stuff wrong. I agree with you on that. But let me say this in defense of Andrews Pete. Andrews Pete is playing all right. He didn't look that well in this game. The first game, he was kind of off balance. He didn't look that well. He was okay. This game, he was all, but so was Ryan Ramczyk, Tyron Armstead. The offensive line looked mishmash today. That's why I say run the ball. That helps out with the confidence. And Pete is still playing with a busted thumb, by the way.
Injury prone.
He's still playing with a busted thumb, though, last Saint. Come on. The man ain't like he's sitting on the bench. See, nobody wants. See, that's what I'm saying. I can't get the family members to give Pete even much a mark for playing with an injury. They're calling him soft. I can't agree with you on that, but you right as rainwater on Marcus Williams. You won't talk about a finesse, soft ice cream safety. You're absolutely right. That guy is absolutely it. He's afraid.
Dude got burned by a tight end.
Man, come on, bro. And listen, Waller is special. He's a converted wide receiver who's very athletic. And kudos to Gruden for finding that guy, because he was wasting away in Baltimore. They ain't know what they had. They brought that guy up there, gave him opportunity. Plus, he had all kind of off-field issues and stuff. But the man was able to clean himself up, play right, and he demolished the Saints today with a 12-catch performance. And we had him squarely fixed apart the top of the scouting report today. We talked about two crucial things you needed to do. The three things we spoke about was A, stop Josh Jacobs, in which they didn't allow him to get any touchdowns or any 100 yards, but they still allowed him to amass runs where he was able to convert his runs into first down to prolonged drives. That's something that killed you. Number two, you were supposed to neutralize Waller. Either double team him, take him out of the play. The only way Carr was able to move the ball was through his running backs and tight ends. If you remove those players, he would have suffered throwing the ball, and he would have been overthrowing those deep guys most of the game, and you would have beat him. The Saints totally were wrong in this thing, man. Totally wrong. But I caution you to not give up. Remember, this is mere history. This has happened before where the Saints looked awful. They're going to bounce back and take it out on the Green Bay Packers. You're going to see a similar team to what it would look like in week 1. Then in week 4, you're going to start seeing them normalize closer to the team you've seen in week 1 as opposed to the team that you've seen in week 2. Sometimes you need these slaps in the face, bro, to wake up.
All right. Look, we know what's going to happen in the regular season. We know we're going to get double-digit teams. We'll probably get the number 1 seed. More than likely, we'll get top 2. What happens in the playoffs?
That's the question.
What happens in the playoffs? Because over the last 3 years, I've seen the offense choke. I've seen Drew Brees give it up to the defense. Not the bash Drew Brees, because I'm not a Drew Brees hater. Because it kind of sounds like that right now. But in the playoffs, Drew Brees plays the defense like their top 5 defense when they're not even in the top 10. Right? You can say the supporting cast. I'm saying it's bad play calling and it's bad quarterback play overall when the chips are on the table. So, like, how can we remedy it?
I mean, listen, the only thing I can say about that, bro, is that, like I said, you can either learn from history or you're doomed to repeat it. History won't stop kicking your ass. You have to break the cycle on that yourself. That's what that power thing I always talk about. You know, like I said, that's just how nature, that's how the creator made the universe. Everything happens in series of cycles, like the seasons come in certain periods of cycles. It's the same deal with history. History, and that's the old saying, and it's absolutely 1,000% true. If you don't break the chain of the link, it will keep repeating itself. You have to learn from it and use it. The issue is, have the Saints learned from it enough to make the change to adjust in the playoffs? And I would have to say yes, and I say yes strictly out of the fact that you possibly could not have Drew Brees here after this year, and you would have to win with other people. So that should be enough to help you run the ball. But like I said, we got a long season to go, and there's plenty of lamb basement to hand out. But I think that they get it right. This is just an ugly loss. We'll have to sit on this, and then we got to hear the commentators next. And I'm gonna hear all that. I'm gonna be hearing it from the Raider Nation people as well, and I'm just gonna be catching it this week. You know, and like I said, you know, I catch it like I'm on their damn team. That's why I'll be getting upset. You know, I might as well grab a helmet and do like T Dirty and go out there and play, man. I mean, come on, if I'm gonna be getting the gist of it. But look here, last Saint, bro. I'm gonna give you one more comment, my friend, before we go. I got 985 behind you, bro.
That's all I had to say. I'm sleeping.
All right, my man. Well, I appreciate you staying up late and kicking it with us, my brother. Thank you for waiting too, my man. Who that to you? And I'm gonna talk to you later, my brother. Peace. All right, that's last Saint, man, chiming in. Appreciate the young brother for dropping it, man. All right, we're gonna bring in 985 live in the building. What up, 985? How you doing, fam? 985, will you hear me, my brother? All right, we're gonna wait for 985 to chime in.
I had hit that mute button. My bad.
Okay, there you go. All right. Yeah, I can hear you fine, my brother. How you doing?
Oh, I'm good, man. My bad. I had hit that mute button.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
man,
it's all good.
man. I'm heading up here to Shreveport, man. But hey, man, I got a few questions, man.
Okay.
All right. Do you think that we can still win with it like a dink and dunk offense?
Can we still win with a dink and dunk offense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible, bro. We could still, we could take, I guess you could say conservative with taking deep shots up the field. But I just think they trying to throw the ball upfield. It's just they haven't, they're not in sync. Then you move Mike out of the picture. Emmanuel's step up. It just didn't. It's not in sync. That's why I say we shouldn't. We need to run the ball, man. That's what it comes down to, bro. Drew Brees is accurate enough, and you get the running game going with the power game, and then you get the play action game. Then you can hit a series of short passes to give him a rhythm, then open up. These are rhythm players. They need to have a more, several good offensive series in a row to get going, to know where they're going, so they can have a camaraderie. That's what I was saying early in the season. It's like you got new players on our team. When everybody was making fun, oh no, the Saints just got one or two players. We got to we got rookies on this team. We got undrafted guys, draft picks, and signees coming to this team that have to acclimate and play with the guys here, and they have to get used to each other. So that's a learning process. So, you can win with a dink and dunk offense if you got a good running game. Like, say, for instance, if you running the ball and you lining them up and you gashing them for 3.5, 4 yards every time you run the ball, and then after that you play action, then you hit the guy with 3 or 4 yards here or 5 yards there. You can methodically move the ball up the field and slice them up with a million cuts. No doubt about it. The Saints could do that. But they're looking for the big strike offense and the pressure on the Saints to produce the big strike offense, because that's what everybody want to see them do. But I'm not saying, like, not so fast on that. Let's learn how to run the football effectively. And then once we establish the run as a threat, then let's open up the play action. Once we do that, then you can throw the ball short, intermediate, or you can throw it down the field. You'll have your options then, because when you're running the ball, it causes those safeties to come down, and then you can take your shots. But you got, like with the interception, you got the Saints. They're not run, they got the Saints, and then they're getting pressure on Drew Brees with 4 guys. Look at the tape. And Drew steps back, and he tries to throw the ball to the wide receiver, and the linebacker, who usually be 2 or 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage, dropped into the passing lane and covered it up, and Drew ain't seen it, and he made the pick. That's the same thing that the Saints did to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in week 1. The exact same thing. All the Raiders did what the Saints did to the Buccaneers. They made the adjustments. They neutralized the Saints' pass rush attack. The Saints didn't have any answer for that. They couldn't generate pressure, and trust me, they were sending people. They were sending safeties. They were sending linebackers. They couldn't get to Carr. Yeah. But that was the thing. They should have kept. The thing is, let Carr find the man. He cover up Waller, cover up Jacobs, and let him try to find somebody else. That should have been the mentality to beat you that way. But don't let them beat you with Waller. One of their best guy. Don't let them beat you with Jacobs, the running attack. And the Saints got beat by both those guys, even though we covered that and broke down the scouting report and the points of what they need to do to win a game. So, it's just, but to answer your question, my brother, that was a long answer. But yeah, they can kill you by a death by a million cuts.
Yeah, I think with me and probably most of the family members, like, we probably frustrated with Drew because of he's not willing or unable to get out the pocket and run for those extra yards, like on 3rd and 3. Instead of him possibly trying to get the first down, he trying to throw it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what the frustration is coming from when we say, hey man, we need another quarterback, because we look at a lot of other quarterbacks around the league or whatever. Like Mahomes and different quarterbacks. That the younger have more mobility or whatever. Like, they just get out the pocket and be able to run, for those extra yards or whatever. Drew don't sit there. Well, Drew don't do that, So I think that's what we saying when we talking about maybe it's time for Drew to go or whatever, But I can agree with you on the fact that we definitely need to run the ball more, because when Teddy Bridgewater came in the game or whatever, like, they wasn't really throwing the ball, they was running. Like, he started to throw at the end of his tenure with those games, but Sean Payton had him running the ball more, so that helped him out. And I think he need to go back to this philosophy, even with Drew or whatever, even though Drew know the offense, he needs to allow him to run the ball first until we get that, the receivers and Drew and them get on the same page or whatever. Because we already without Mike Thomas, we didn't have an all season or whatever. So, we gotta run the ball to start, to try to get that rhythm or whatever. So I think that's definitely, something that we need to start doing or whatever. But, I look at also too, man, I look at you remember after the Super Bowl year, um when when we won after the Super Bowl and Junior had, Sean Payton had that interview with John Gruden or whatever. You remember that interview, how he was doing the plays and stuff, telling him all the different plays and what he was doing. Now you go back and you think about it. He's sitting there with the dude that just beat him tonight, So he telling him all the different plays and stuff, why he called this play, why he did that or whatever. All John Gruden gotta do is go in there, hey man, we're gonna study this film and see if he do the same thing in week one. You know what I'm saying? Okay, yeah, week one he done this same concept or whatever. All right. Yeah, he say he like to do this or whatever because, this opened up on this. So he already to sit down with this man and basically told him his strategies on how he won games or whatever, even leading up to the Super Bowl, even in the Super Bowl. So I feel like John Gruden sitting there like, okay, licking his chops or whatever, because even on defense, on offense or whatever, we threw everything else. They would just sit back like, okay, we're gonna let them throw everything at us. All right, they ain't got all their little prescriptive plays and stuff out the way. This all they're gonna do. Okay, now we can make our adjustments or whatever, and play better on defense or whatever, and stop them from running the ball, stop them from throwing. That's what they did. We had a few plays where like Traquan might get open, catch the ball. Jared Cook might get open, catch the ball. But it was like, Alvin Kamara get open, catch the ball. But it wasn't no, what I'm saying, wasn't no run the ball down they throat, man. They front wasn't it. I don't believe they front was that strong enough to stop us from running through them. We had a little Tavis Murray to run through them, but we didn't use that. And then two, number three, why did they take out DJ Swearinger for PJ Williams, bro? I don't even know.
Yeah,
Why they took this man out, man? Last week he had that play, whatever. It was a ticky-tacky call, but PJ Williams ain't played. He was hurt or whatever. So you had Swearinger or whatever was able to come in the game and play. He did get beat on one of those passes. But after that he kind of settled down and played, man. PJ, man, he a good tackler or whatever, but his coverage skills is horrible. Like horrible, bro. Like he be out of position sometimes, bro. It's like, dude, the dude had 2 or 3 steps on him. And it's like, bro, why y'all switch this man out for this dude, bro? I don't understand.
Yeah, that was a curious move. I remember we was talking about that right before the game on the TSC virtual tailgate. We read the inactives, and that's what was listed that Swearinger was a healthy scratch for the game. PJ was activated, and he wasn't. I was like, I just hope that level of aggression, because that's what make DJ Swearinger, a wanted commodity on the team, is the fact that his aggression. He's about a 7-8 year veteran who he gets interceptions, by the way. He can make interceptions, but he is a hitter, and he's mean. And that's why I like I love that mentality, because you will want somebody like that on the back end of the defense, just to set a tone with Waller. You can't let Waller catch the ball whenever he wants and makes plays and not show him. See, these guys are football players. He's some of the toughest humans in the world physically, and most of the time they gave respect by pain. I ain't going to do that no more because that hurts. Well, I tell you what, you put some pain on them wide receivers' ass and try to make that catch or coming across there, they'll learn. They'll understand. And I just don't think we have that mentality because Williams is back there. He's a nice dude. He's nice. You can look at him and see that he ain't about that life. You know, he not somebody. Well, I mean but see, that's what Sean. We don't know what they're gonna do. They could very well re-sign Marcus Williams to come back. I would want to go and find somebody. I would want to go. Listen, bro. Eric Reed's out there. We can get Eric Reed's still young. You get him a couple of years. He's smart. He knows how to play the position. He gets interceptions. So he's a hitter. I would love to have Eric Reed back down here, former LSU safety, to come home. I would love to see that happen. But I don't think at the end of the year, Marcus Wood can very well be back with the Saints, how crazy it is over him. And I definitely think in his fourth year, you're talking about he has to tackle better. And we've been saying it on film and tape forever. And I say he does just enough to keep half the family base split. It's like, I don't agree with you on Marcus Williams. He gets interceptions. He makes tackles. He was the top. And I'm like, man, if your safety's making that tackles, the safety is leading the team in tackles, that's not a good thing. That means the backs is getting to the third level of your defense. And just if you look at what happened statistically, the top 3 of the top 5 tacklers on tonight's matchup were defensive backs. That lets you know what's going on in terms of of what's going on. So I just think that a lot of times, man, we just have to look at it and understand that this team's going to get better. They're going to get better. And this is merely a situation, an example of that. This is the second game of the season. This is week 2, family. Saints lose 34-24, but this is week number 2. We don't have time to dwell on it because they're going to automatically get back to it. They're going to study the film, and then it's a short week and getting ready for Green Bay. So we don't have an extended time, and thank goodness we don't, to sit here and sit here and marinate in the loss. So that's a good thing. That by Thursday we have to get ready for Green Bay and where Aaron Rodgers and what he's representing, because their offense is doing some stuff. Their defense is still, they're still working on it. But which Saints team are we going to be? Are we going to be the week 1 Saints or the week 2 Saints? And I say, based on the knowledge I have about the team and from the historical standpoint, the historical record, I think you'll see more of the week 1 improved upon Saints than you ever see of the week 2 Saints.
Yeah, like you said, man. I mean, anybody that say Marcus Williams don't have issues or whatever, they crazy as a road lizard. I'm sorry to say it, bro. You crazy as a road lizard, bro. I mean, as a safety, bro, I played safety when I was little, man. But bro, when somebody come up, like you said, they get to my level, bro, I will rap them. You know what I'm saying? Because you're the last person that's supposed to make the tackle, whatever. So, like you said, you're supposed to make them feel like, man, I'm not gonna run back on this side or whatever, because he gonna lay that lick on me, But Marcus Williams, they like, man, I run over there any day, bro. I take his candy any day, bro. I take his lunch money, whatever. I take his shoes, I take his Jordans, I take his car keys, whatever, his condo, everything, bro. Cause I mean, honestly, bro, when he hit you, bro, it's like that's all you doing, bro. Like that's how you hit, bro. All right, cool. All right, bro. I ain't much scared, bro. Like I run over there any day of the week, bro. But like I said, man, we gotta get better, bro. We just gotta get better in order for us to win. I was kind of hot after the game or whatever, but after listening to some of the fam or whatever and actually thinking about it, bro, like you said, this is just the second week. I'm not gonna panic, and like this was like week 5 or something, then I'd be panicking. But hey, this is only the second week or whatever, and like I said, hopefully it don't get no worse than this. Like they say, I don't think it get no worse. Hopefully the bottom of the barrel don't fall out after this game, and hopefully we can rise up, bro, and take our rightful place, man. Because Tom Brady sitting back there licking his chops like, oh yeah, they lost tonight, so I ain't got too far to catch up with them. So like I said, man, I ain't gonna hold the line up, man. I'm gonna get off of here, man. I thank you for taking my call, bro. And like I said, man, always a good show, man. I appreciate you.
Same to you, bro. You be safe on that road, bro. And we'll talk later, my brother.
Yes, sir. All right, later.
Who that, bro? Peace.
Who that? All right.
That's 985 live in the building. The brother on the road, over the road driver, man. Big ups to all our over the road drivers, man, that's doing their thing. Please be safe on the road. Prayers and blessings to all of our family members who are also police officers. And we got quite a few that's police officers and that are also ambulance personnel and medical personnel and responders, firemen. Please be safe out there. Our prayers are with you as well. And our prayers are also with the Great Saint Think Tank family members who are going through some things as well. So big ups to the family. And like I said, family, we that's why it's good, man. It's what time is it? 1:30 in the morning. We're approaching 2.5 hours at 1:30 in the morning. And big ups to Michael Sachs. I see you, Michael. Big ups to your family. I see you, Joshua Hoover. Big ups, and the rest of the family members. Big ups to the families for joining us and being on the line late. Please hit the like button if you please. Man, all I can say about this one, family, that I will be back tomorrow. I will be back tomorrow's show, just to give a little brief drop down on the shows for tomorrow, on the programs tomorrow. TSC Unleashed will cover some of it. That'll be, of course, early in the day. And then I will come back with another sports coma. Tomorrow I'll play some interviews, some of the post-game interviews I didn't play tonight. I played Peyton. I'll play Drew Brees and Kamara, their thoughts. Cam Jordan we'll cover a show tomorrow as well. And then, of course, it won't be a long show, probably be an hour and a half. And then tomorrow afternoon is TSC Q&A for the family members. TSC Q&A, that's for our Patreon family members, so you can be able to chime in and be able to get on the TSC Q&A, which is Tuesday night on Patreon, and it's for our Patreon and our YouTube members. So if you want to do that, you can simply join become a YouTube member, or you can go to the link in the description section below and join our Patreon to get access. So we got 20 plus TSC Q&As on there. We got about 10 on Q with Big Q's, which is another show we do on Patreon where we talk about real stuff. That real. That's on there. We got about 10 something shows on there. And I've been working on a very long show that I'm going to break up in 3 parts. And hopefully I have the rest of it ready. I got a lot of stuff I'll be working on, family. And trust me, like I said, I do about 50 something shows a month, something like that. It's something ridiculous like that. But, like I said, man, the family, do their thing. They support, the platform. And when you do that, man, I got to show you that I'm real about mine and I'm 100%. So, being up at almost 2 o'clock in the morning, talking about Saints and covering it, so the family members can vent, man, that's a part of it because it helps me out as well. So I like to thank all the beautiful Black and Gold family members for chiming in a live stream tonight, man. I appreciate y'all. Melanin Guy 504 says Q. Been saying this since last year. Run the ball. Do the organization have a personal vendetta against Murray? It reminds me of when L. Davis didn't want to play Marcus Allen. Ironically, that's really interesting, bro. That's a real great point there too. Thank you for that, Melanin Guy. Let me put that on the screen, man. That's a great point there, man. Great point. All I know, bro, is that I just, you go by what they give you. Sean Payton, when he signed Latavius Murray, he said, and I remember I was covering the report why he signed Murray, because he wanted to use him as a short yardage back to take, to a similar style, not exactly the same, but a similar style to what he was using with Ingram. Well, if that's the case, you can't have 15 carries for him game one and then 3 carries the next game and say, well, they took the ball away from us. They didn't start dominating and controlling the Saints on the offensive line of scrimmage until after the second quarter, late in the second quarter, going into the halftime and coming out on the other side. That's when they start really making the plays. It was right after, it was in the second quarter, midway or toward the back end of the second quarter, you start seeing a shift toward the offensive line speaking for the Raiders against the Saints. So the Saints stopped running Latavius Murray early in the game. And often, like I said, these are rhythm runners. You have to give these guys the ball often, early and often. And especially you will want to use Latavius Murray late. Now, being that the Saints have already put themselves in the hole, offensively speaking, because they did the same thing they did in the first game by actually bottoming out. Remember when against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in week 1, the Saints offense died in the third quarter and was in danger of being caught up on until, they were finally able, the defense was able to help out, and it was a defensive touchdown to help them on the board and all this kind of stuff. The offense can move the chains if it runs the ball, but you don't even run it at your own detriment. So the pressure's building every week. Every week the pressure's going to be building. And I'm gonna be honest with you, and just to give you a little forecasting into the future, I can see it down the line, and I'm gonna be honest with you. There's two major, well, actually more than that, actually, but right now, in interest of saying it, is that the Saints really are going to be under a lot of pressure if they lose this Green Bay Packers game, because the fan base is going to be pissed because they're not showing the Super Bowl team. You're going to start seeing a lot of pressure put upon this team. And in fact, that Tampa, they don't beat Green Bay. Tampa Bay, I think they have either the Bears or the Lions next week coming up. So they have a challenge where I think they can win that game. So they're going to be chasing you down. And we'll see, now that you're sitting in the leader's seat, if you can step up and play like the leader. Now, had the Saints simply ran the ball and operated the pass off the run, they would have beat this team. This game would have looked a lot different than what it looked. The offense stalled out again because the rhythm is not there. You can't force the offense. Sean Payton, you can't force the offense that way. You have to utilize the rushing attack and build a rhythm with the rushing attack. Then off the back of the rushing attack, use the play action to spark the offense. Good grief, man. Good grief to this man. You cannot force them to click like that. It has to be an organic thing. You can't force this like on an arranged marriage. You can't force them people together if they don't care about each other, fool. They don't work like that. They got to care, love each other, and then they have, and whatnot, and be attracted in that way. It's just a shame, man. It's a shame. But we'll see if the team is growing in that capacity, because, listen, we got a sharp week, and that's one of the things. The other thing is Davenport. And the thing is, the defense could not sustain the pass rush. That was what my question was. Can the defense do what they did in week 1 and week 2? And they couldn't. They did for one quarter, and then Gruden made an adjustment, and he shut it all down. They could not get any pressure. Trust me, they tried. They sent defensive backs, linebackers. They couldn't get to them. Couldn't get to him. And when they sent all them people, all he did was went to Jacobs out the backfield, or Rashard out the backfield, or just threw it to Waller. They couldn't even cover up Waller. And then see, where's Dennis Allen at, man? How do you keep trying to put how do you think Malcolm Jenkins is going to guard that guy? That was a big mismatch. Malcolm Jenkins cannot guard Waller. And had you studied the scouting reports, you would have understood that linebackers can't cover him because he's too fast, and safeties can't cover him because he's too fast. He's too big to be covered by cornerbacks. And when you cover him, you put Jenkins, which is the smallest starting cornerback you have, on him. He should have been doubled out of the gate. You should have took him away and neutralized that other kid at the line and try to get them to force you to beat you another way. But they led right into Gruden's plans, and see, that's what make a good coach. Gruden stuck with the run and stole a whole quarter away from your ass. 20 more plays. Well, it's 19 to be accurate, but you might as well say 20. He stole a quarter of play away from you and 20 plays away from you. That's why you lost. You lucky you ain't got blanked more than that. You ain't got beat more than 10 points. But we'll see. It's week 2, and the reason why a lot of people are upset, because the Saints should have won this game. They had everything it takes to win this contest. They had everything that it takes to win this contest. Absolutely. So it's absolutely, it's really ridiculous to me, man, to be honest with you. And of course, and I said all that, but we don't even talk about the penalties. How are you going to overcome all that? when you don't run the ball, your offense is sputtering, and you're not helping it by trying to force them to jail. Your number one wide receiver is missing, and you still don't run Latavius Murray. Can the reporters ask the right questions? That's another question I have. But the truth is, the pressure of the season is coming on top of the Saints real quick. How did they respond to Green Bay is the question. And another question is, where's Davenport? Because now you need him. Now you know that the defense can't do it without him. And could that first game be an aberration? Well, you would have to say it's an aberration because it's a big difference between the two. One, you did it the whole game. Another one, you did it for 1 quarter. So, what do you suppose? Okay, well, if they did it for a whole game, they could do it again, Q. Yeah, they might be able to do it in one more game, but consistently, can they provide pressure on a quarterback? You need your best. You need Davenport. The question is, where is he at now? Does he play in this week against the Packers? So that's a lot of the questions we got coming up. We got quite a few questions, and we got a very nice week coming up. So got a lot of Saint talk to go over it. I'm going to be in the building with the family members as usual, talking about Saint talk, hammering it out, hashing it out. And like I said, family, I will be back tomorrow again with a live stream. Probably be closer to around about 2 or 3 o'clock tomorrow. So mark it down in your calendars, or I'll come at you again with a sports coma. We'll play some interviews and stuff like that. Then I'll disappear. Then the show will end, and then we got TSC Q&A. That'll be on Patreon at 6 o'clock Tuesday for all my Patreon and YouTube members, and we'll cover interviews and news of the day. We'll check out the injury reports and see what's going on with some of the injured Saints that we have. If they have any signings are coming in, of course, Peyton will have an interview from him as he has studied the film, and he'll have some dialogue tomorrow. We'll break that down as well. So we got quite a few things to talk about coming up in tomorrow. Well, actually today. Actually, Tuesday is today, just to let you know. So later on today, family, we're going to do it. So I ain't going to hold you guys. I appreciate you guys for being here. Big ups to the family members for staying up late with me. Big ups to me. To y'all, T-Dirty says, why is this shit so simple for us, but Rubik's Clues? I don't know, bro. That's what I'm saying. I don't know, bro. I don't know. All right, but appreciate all the family members, man. I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here on the 24. On the TSC virtual tailgate week 2 Saints versus Raiders recap. Of course, our Raider Nation's family members gonna chime in, and they're gonna do their little hootie hoos and everything. And family, listen, all my heavy-handed moderators, a lot of them are supporters. They just come here. They team one as long as they respect. I have no issue, man. So JT JT's a good dude, man. He just his team won, and he just got a little laugh. And I'm gonna tell you, somebody did the same damn thing. I did the same damn thing. So I like to thank all y'all for joining the show tonight. Please hit the like button, family. If you hadn't hit the like button and help the show out, please hit the like button. Please hit the notification button if you haven't. And if you aren't a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. Join us. We do shows with family every damn day. Sometimes twice a day. So, feel free to subscribe to the Great Saint Think Tank, the best of the Black and Gold Nation. It helps out the stream. Also, feel free to check our merch out. We have several merch stores down, Pro Apparel, our own gear, hats, shirts, coffee mugs, smartphone cover cases, little clothing for your dog or your pet, stuff, wall art, clothing for the babies, for the ladies, for the fellas, big guys on up to 5X gear. And it's just a bunch of stuff. The links in the description section below and the purchase help out the platform a lot. So thank y'all for joining us. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're a subscriber, and share the show links in your social media. So for me and the crew, I appreciate y'all, man. And like I said, I'll be back tomorrow to talk more about the Saints stuff, man, because I know they're still going to have a lot of ticked off people, man. But we'll make sense of it, man. Remember, don't go to bed angry. Remember, the Saints struggle out the gate the first 3 to 4 weeks. But then they pick it up, and then you'll see who they really are. So just remember that, and don't let nobody piss you off too bad. All right. So who that to y'all? Y'all keep y'all heads up, and I'm out, and I'll see y'all later.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome. Number one sports talk. We ain't like the Falcons. We won't blow the lead. We won't blow the lead. Who that? Who got cut and who got cut and who that? Players you should look at. You don't wanna miss. Free game, party game, maybe DC or 5. Things looking big. You and the guys. Live. You take live. Interviews inside the Saints live. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed, know that we bleed. Ain't no miracle ever hold us back. No beastquake, no bounty gate. Let the truth be told. Lift the sport. We know it's Super Bowl.